Listen, your savings account is robbing you blind. But don't worry, I found out a way how to make my money work for me in my sleep, and I can help you do the exact same thing. Now, this isn't no get rich quick scheme. This isn't no pyramid scheme. This isn't something just trust me situation. This is legit, and this is something that your every average day person can implement in their lives, and they can really get to a bag. This isn't a short-term play. It's a long-term play. There's a promo going on right now, so you definitely want to jump on it before the price goes up because this is too valuable. The link is in the description, and hey, let's get our money up. Let's get back to the video. Hey, what's good? Welcome to the Courtney Edgar Show, where we talk about everything under the sun as long as we get back to the money, real conversations, and real solution. And I'm your host, Courtney Edgar. Yeah. Listen, man, we got a lot of topics to cover today. We gonna get there. We got a lot of topics to cover. We got some good topics to cover too. And if we got enough time, there was some that I was sent earlier today that we're gonna tap into, because we're gonna be talking about Trump. We got to talk about the tariffs. We gotta. I'm not gonna say if I'm gonna talk about this next topic or not, but we just gonna keep it in the vault for right now unless I feel like I need to bring it up. But I might still speak on it a little bit, but not heavy. What else we got? We got, of course, we got the Lapeef channel, and then we got a couple other things, saying we're gonna tap into the money, right? But before we get to all of that good stuff, man, today is a real one's special day, man. Today is your boy's birthday, February 21st, man. I appreciate y'all. Yep. Today your boy birthday, February 21st.
Happy birthday, homie. For me? Yeah. Happy birthday, homeboy. For me? Yeah.
Yeah. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for the algorithm, and make sure you hit the bell notification, all right? Because you liking the live is going to help push the content forward, help pushing it to the homepage so more people can check out the channel, see the channel, so we can grow this thing exponentially, all right? So make sure you like, and then make sure you share this with your family and your friends too. All right, my good people? So let me read some of these comments before we dive into the topics tonight. Oh, man, my boy Macaroni Tony already showing love. He already showing love with the 20 bar. Hey, homie, I appreciate you, fam. I appreciate you.
That's top dog aura right there.
Hey, appreciate you for the birthday. Appreciate you for the birthday wishes, man. Listen, if you want me to shout you out, you got to do exactly what Macaroni Tony did. You got to throw a super chat in there. That's the only way I'm going to shout you out, big dog. Oh, today's your birthday too, Auto Masker? Happy birthday to you too. Happy birthday to you too. Yeah, February 21st. I like it. Hey, but Macaroni, I appreciate you for showing love, dog. I appreciate you. Thank you. Let me go ahead and take the specs off. You feel me? So we can go ahead and get to it. Let me check and make sure everything else is in play and everything else is in order. We good. All right. Think we straight here. Think we good. Back out here. Give me a second, y'all. Give me a second. I thought that was supposed to go live, but okay. Whatever. We good. All right, so let's go ahead and lock in, man. Let's go ahead and talk about the tariffs. Let's go ahead and talk about Trump. Yeah. They trying to slow my man down, bro. They trying to slow my man down. But you can't slow a big dog down. You gotta call a spade a spade. You can't slow a big dog down. So there's 3 videos we're gonna watch. We're gonna watch it from three different perspectives, and then I'll give my thoughts and opinions in between. All right. So let's go ahead and rock out.
And now let's bring in CBS News correspondent Jolene Kent. Jolene, good to see you today. There's a big question of what impact this ruling will have on the economy.
Yeah, well, the average American household was losing their about $1,700 in real income due to these tariffs. So as we look at the major economic impact, this was an economic blow to the president's agenda without question. And we're hearing from small businesses all around the country who have really suffered from these tariffs, who have felt that they've had to raise their prices on their consumers over the last year to absorb some of that incoming cost. And just reading some of these texts here that we're getting incoming from small businesses. Beth Beneke, the CEO of Busy Baby Map in Zimbrata, Minnesota, down in southern Minnesota, she tells me this is a major relief. This is bittersweet. Now her job, she says, is to figure out how small businesses like hers can get refunded, as Jan Crawford was talking about just now. Emily Lay, CEO of Simplified, it's a really popular stationery and planner business. She's down in Sarasota, Florida. She told me this morning she's thrilled, in all caps, that she's relieved. And she's been going for about 20 years. She says she's never had a challenge like this before. In a separate lawsuit, she sued the Trump administration on similar grounds to what we saw today out of the Supreme Court. And she is now also going to be seeking refunds and trying to regroup and figure this out. And for so many small businesses, this is really...
So for those of y'all don't know so far, the Supreme Court, they pretty much told Trump that he was overstepping in regards to the tariffs. But that still doesn't mean anything, because all Trump did, he just introduced a new 10% global tariff for, I think, try to extend it for 150 days, something like that. So at the end of the day, he's still gonna put them tariffs out on you. You still gonna have to pay tariffs, big dog.
Been about whether or not they can grow, whether or not they have to lay off workers, and also, of course, prices. So when it comes to prices that you're paying, for example, at the grocery store, we do expect to see prices drop more immediately on like fresh fruits and veggies, but other things like apparel and other types of imports, those decreases may take a little bit more time to go.
And Jolene, we know that the Supreme Court didn't really mention much about
she be getting in at the gym,
but I'm sure that's what those business owners are looking for, right?
Right.
Yeah, that
doesn't even make sense. Hey, bro, I like that profile picture, bro.
Takes time, and just as tariffs took a long time to actually, have a major economic impact, we're now seeing the reverse of that. We're just in stage 1, just an hour or 2 into this. But what the small businesses are telling me is that they feel like they have some clarity here. And what's also interesting too is what the Small Business Coalition is saying here. They said, they have paid the tariffs and they deserve their money back. And this coalition is saying American small businesses, not foreign governments, paid billions of dollars in IEEPA tariffs. They have dipped into their personal savings, taken out high interest loans, laid off employees, and cut wages to cover costs. That is really borne out in the reporting that we've done over the past year. And so the Small Business Coalition, they want everything.
Okay, maybe I'm the one that's tripping, right? Because when I think of putting tariffs on imported goods, right? But I think you putting tariffs on imported goods, my thought process of it coming from a business perspective is that it's supposed to help smaller businesses, right? So that they are able to thrive in America. So instead of you going across seas to get your products and get your shit made and shipped and all that, why not get it done here in America, which then creates more jobs too and opportunities for people to become entrepreneurs, create more smaller businesses, and that way the money can circulate within the United States of America. Why not? And if you decide, now, of course, if you decide that you want to still use the products that's being used outside of the country, then, I mean, yes, rightfully so, you're going to have to up your prices in order to create a margin for yourself. And so that way you can profit in the business. But it would make sense to get all of your shit here in America so it can be America made, right? It's just like being in the Black community. In order for the Black community to thrive and grow and build, the money has to circulate within the community. Not being consumers outside of the community and not giving money to the people outside of the community. Am I tripping? Am I wrong? Am I off on that?
Every single dollar returned.
And Jolene, I'm not sure this is a question we have an answer to because this ruling just came down today. But for those watching thinking, well, prices went up because of tariffs, what does that mean for me? Do we have an answer to that?
I think it's going to be very gradual. You may see more impact on grocery items like fresh fruits and vegetables, but then when it comes to electronics, apparel, other types of goods that have a longer lead time when it comes to manufacturing, that will be slower. But remember, we're also dealing with decisions from major companies who are also parsing through this decision and trying to figure out what it means for them. And I'm talking about Target, Walmart, Amazon, all of your big box stores. Those companies are going to look very closely at what this means. And remember, back in the pandemic, when we saw so much inflation between 2020 and 2025, companies did not necessarily cut their prices when, say, the supply chain issues were more resolved. So the big question I have here is, what will happen to prices? Will they actually go down, or will companies elect to potentially leave them where they are? We'll have to wait and see, and we'll be watching all of those quarterly earnings reports.
I'll be honest, I don't think much is going to happen in regards to the pricing. It might go down a little bit, but over a broader scale, that can be a lot. Even if it go down just a little bit. Mind you, for those people who don't know, bro, do y'all know interest rates were, do y'all understand, bro? We were at a 9%. We were at 9%, bro. Inflation rate. 9%. We got that bitch all the way down to 3%. Shout out to Trump. All the way down to 3%. And it's pushing 2%. But we ain't quite there yet. But we're pushing 2%.
As those CEOs speak out on this issue.
Oh yeah, we know you well. Jolene Kent, thank you so much for your time today.
All right, so let's go over to CNN. Let's go over to CNN and see what they talk about.
This is one of the most significant cases that the justices have decided in recent years. Here, the Supreme Court ruling that President Trump's use of these emergency tariffs that he has implemented are illegal. It's the most significant economic case to reach the high court in years, sweeping implications for the economy and, of course, for presidential power. And at stake here are billions of dollars in revenue that have already been collected by the government. Pamela Wolf, the other significance here is that this is the first time that the 6-3 conservative court has ruled against President Trump in one of these major cases that have gone before the court since he returned to power in January. Now, we are still going through this case, but this is something we have been waiting for. The court said that it would take up this case on an expedited basis. So they're deciding, even though it's a significant case now, because of course this has enormous implications. So as we go through this opinion now with our team, another outstanding question is what now happens to all that revenue that had been collected? This is something that it really wasn't clear from the arguments what they would say about that, if they're going to lay out a plan. So we will continue to go through this, but this is an enormous decision and a rare loss for President Trump before this conservative court.
This is Paula.
How is it a loss? He's still gonna impose tariffs. It just ain't gonna be as much. He's still posing a 10% tariff on their ass. So what you talking about? You still got to ante up.
Major slap at the president of the United States, who has made a major effort over these many, many months to impose all of these tariffs. And just to look at some of the background I have here, over these many months, the administration has collected $150 billion in these tariffs. So what happens to that money? Do they have to refund that money to the firms, to the people who paid for those tariffs?
That's one of the big questions that came up at arguments, and it's something that we're looking through now in this opinion. The top line is that these are illegal, that the president cannot rely on this 1977 emergency law to impose tariffs without authorization from Congress, because this question is really about the extent of presidential power. And we know in both his terms in office, President Trump has really worked at the edges of what has largely been recognized as executive authority. But in these arguments back in November, they went on for 2.5 hours. It was clear that the justices were skeptical that President Trump could rely on this vague federal law to impose global tariffs. Now, they did appear to likely be willing to.
How are we, Tracy Chandler? How are we paying for it? How are we paying for it?
Decide that these were illegal, but what is not clear, we haven't gotten to this part of the opinion, is what happens to all that revenue that has been collected by the government. And President Trump has said himself that this is, this is a massive decision for him. So we're waiting for reaction, both from the Justice Department that argued this on his behalf and also from the White House. But we're going to keep going through this, Wolf, to try to see if the justices laid out any plan for what happens to that revenue.
All right, Paula, stand by. I know you're going to be reading all these the opinions and everything. I want to get back to you, but I want to bring in our senior legal analyst, Ellie Honig, right now. Ellie, as I said, this is a huge setback for the president of the United States. And this has been a traditionally conservative Supreme Court, but they ruled that all of these tariffs that Trump has imposed over these many months are illegal. It's a big deal.
Well, Wolf, it's a monumental ruling. And the bottom line is that the tariffs Donald Trump announced back in April on Liberation Day are gone. They have been ruled illegal by this U.S. Supreme Court. An interesting array of justices here. In the majority, ruling that the tariffs are illegal is Chief Justice Roberts, Justice Gorsuch, and Justice Amy Coney Barrett.
You see what I'm you see what I'm saying, Matt? You see exactly what I'm saying. Made over 150 billion, but that's a bad thing since he imposed the tariffs. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Conservatives who teamed up with the 3 liberal justices, Sotomayor, Kagan, and Jackson, to rule these tariffs unconstitutional. The dissenters are Justices Thomas, Alito, and Kavanaugh. And the basis for the ruling is this: Congress, not the president, Congress typically holds the tariff power. Now, Congress passed this law back in 1977 called the International Economic Emergencies Act. And Donald Trump tried to use that law to say, well, I'm declaring an international economic emergency, therefore I'm imposing tariffs. But
if you want me to answer a question for you, Chuko, you got to put a super chat in that, big dog. That's the only way I'm gonna answer that question, homie. And I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to be mean, but that's how we rocking now, bro. I used to just bring up the chat on top of the screen and answer the question, but you know what I'm saying? We got to move a little bit different now. All right. So
majority here said, no, that law does not authorize you to impose tariffs. And no, there is not a valid international economic emergency here. So the end result, and we are still going through this, but the end result is that Donald Trump's tariffs have been struck down by the U.S. Supreme Court. But really important point I want to make, Donald Trump has said, various White House officials have said, if he loses on this basis, he will try to re-implement other tariffs through other laws, which
another
he can
10%.
try to do. However, those other laws are much more restrictive. They would not allow him to apply the type of sweeping, massive, across the globe tariff.
Well, yeah, you got to be careful. Who were you watching? Were you watching CNN? Depends on who you were watching. Because CNN, they're really good at trying to twist the story to really make things look bad. So they like to skip over a lot of things that are key. They like to skip over context. They really do, because they really have an angle when it comes to President Trump. So you got to be careful with that.
Tariffs that he tried to impose here, but have now been struck down. Look, Donald Trump said these tariffs are the single most important thing he has done in his presidency. He said that, and now they've been struck down by the court.
So you're right. The administration has made clear that if the court strikes,
if you want me to answer that question, Jim, put a super chat in there, and I'll answer it for you. And I will give you a straightforward answer if you really want to know the answer.
Down that they'll look at other tariff authorities to use, but bottom line here,
it's only a tax on the American people if you decide to purchase products outside of the United States. That's when it becomes a tax on you. So for those of you who like to shop in Shein, because it's overseas, you're gonna get taxed on it. But if you're buying products here in America, you're not gonna get taxed on it. That's what tariffs are. What are you talking about? Okay, Jim, well, you can get the fuck on. Like, you know what I don't understand, bro? Here's my thing with a lot of these. And it's always the people who never should have their face on a profile picture that always want to say some stupid shit. And mind you, say what you want to say. You know what I'm saying? You can disagree with me. That's fine. I don't care. But I want you to be clear. If you're gonna say something crazy to me, or you decide that I'm gonna not recommend this channel, nigga, you think I give a fuck? I don't. I don't. I don't. Nah, your mama might be retarded though. Oh, hey, listen, we on one today, so come on. Oh, wait, he black. Wait, he black. Boy, shut up. But anyway, we'll see. Octa, American business are taxed, then they pass that cost to the people. You think so? So how are we taxed? How are we taxed? If you're putting a 10% tariff on like Japan, how are we taxed off of that? Unless we decide to purchase something that's out of Japan. How are we taxed on that? Since the tariffs have been implemented, you do know that we've made way more money in America, right? You do know that, right? Jason, that's a fact. Who increases? It hurts you talking about smaller businesses? No. Because then what that would do, that will force you to start creating your own products within the United States of America, correct? Which then will advise you to do what? Purchase from the people in the United States of America, which then over time will drive down the prices. Because you don't have to go overseas in order to get the products that you need, because we make them right here in the US. Which then everybody's going to thrive because the money continues to circulate within the United States of America. What are you talking about?
Ellie, how big of a mess does this ruling create, given the fact that the administration says it has already received $150 billion in revenue, largely paid for by American businesses? Do they get a refund? What happens now?
Yeah, so it's hard to think of a case that has broader implications politically and legally and economically than this one. I know a lot of people are watching for this one. We don't yet have the answer. This was a question that came up during the oral argument. Amy Coney Barrett in particular asked the lawyers, well, what do we do with the $100+ billion that have already been paid by American importers, by American manufacturers? We're going to look carefully at this. I know Paul is reading this very carefully, but that's a huge question. Will there be some sort of mass refund program? Will the court rule that the tariffs are dead from here on out, but there are no repayments? We will let you know as soon as we get an answer to that one.
All right, as you noted, Paula has been reading through the opinion. I want to go back to Paula Reed, because we know that 3 conservatives sided with the liberals on the court, and you have a quote from one of those conservatives, right, Paula?
That's right. Well, this is Chief Justice John Roberts, who wrote the majority opinion where the court agreed 6-3 that President Trump's tariffs exceed his power under the law. He wrote, quote, "The president asserts the extraordinary power to unilaterally impose tariffs of unlimited amount, duration, and scope. In light of the history and constitutional context of that asserted authority, he must identify clear congressional authorization to exercise it." And we knew that the Chief Justice would be a key vote after what we saw at arguments. Now, we are still going through this. I want to show you, this is
so for everybody who's calling Trump a con man, right? Let me ask y'all a question. Do you think Biden is a con man? Do you think Biden was for America? When the inflation rate was at a whopping 9%, when Trump has driven it back down to 3%, which we're pushing towards 2%. Last time I checked, that's being for the American people. When you want America to be great again, because you want to bring that powerhouse back to America. Which is why the building of the manufacturing companies out there in Mexico, that's why they cut that shit off. That's why they stopped. That's why they aren't building a Dodge out there in Mexico. Which was it? Korea? Was it Korea? Was it Korea? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Was it Korea or Japan? Was someone who they're building a new manufacturing company for? Is it Kia or Toyota? I think it's Kia. It's one of them.
about a third of the opinion. It's 170 pages long. This is just a fraction of it.
Wow.
So we're going through it
That's
very
cap.
carefully
It was at a
to try
9%.
to
That's
understand
cap.
what, if anything, the court said about what happens to all that revenue the government has already collected. I know that's a big question right now. We are carefully going through this to see if they laid out a plan, if this goes back to the lower courts. That's what we're working to figure out right now.
And a quick question from me, Paula. Do the tariffs immediately go
Nah,
away
ain't no shame on me.
or does it take a few days or
I
at
know
least
exactly
maybe a
why
few
I voted
weeks
for 'em.
for them to be removed?
Well, they've been declared by the Supreme Court to be illegal. So we're going through to see if they laid out some sort of plan. But as of right now,
They said one news channel said we made 150 billion. CNN is saying American companies paid 150 billion purposely putting misinformation. Exactly. But hey, we're gonna let them rock out.
people should not have to pay a tariff today or tomorrow, one would think. But we're looking to see, because the logistics of this are so complicated, to see if the justices waded into that, or
So let me ask you a question. Is Trump tanking the American now? Is he tanking it? I just want your fair answer. Just yes or no. Is he tanking it now? I'm just curious. I just want to know.
all of that is going to be something that's now going to be tossed down to lower courts now that the justices have ruled on the larger constitutional question here, the separation sort of powers and who has the authority to do this. Right? Because while this has enormous economic implications, really this was a question.
Yeah, your mama got her GED last week too.
About the extent of executive power.
All right, so let's go over here and see what Trump is talking about. Oh, listen, I want y'all to understand something. With y'all, we gonna talk shit though. We can disagree all day. Really don't care, but we gonna talk shit today. Today's the boy's birthday, so I'm talking all kind of shit today. It don't matter if you agree with me, you disagree with me. All right, cool. Believe what you want to believe, think what you want to think. You can have the Trump derangement syndrome if you want to. They ain't got nothing to do with me. That's between you and God and everybody else who else didn't vote for him, right? They ain't got nothing to do with me. All right, so cool. Let's get to it.
This is a big one, folks. The Supreme Court of the United States just struck down a major chunk of President Donald Trump's tariffs in a 6-3 decision that could reshape trade policy and potentially trigger billions of dollars in refunds. Welcome to Big Money Show, everyone. I'm Jackie DeAngelis, along with my co-hosts David Asman, Marcus Lemonis, Brian Brenberg, and with us for the hour, Countbomb.
He said monkey. So look, which one are you? Let me see. You kind of look like you a T girl. You got your T girl with you, huh? You got your T girl with you, huh? Purdy. You got your T girl on your profile picture with you, big dog. Huh? Spike your hair. When the last time niggas wore V-necks? That's what I'm trying to understand. Y'all, people still wear V-necks? When we started doing that? And then he said a monkey. He said a monkey. Look at this milkman here. Look at this milkman here. That's all you got, monkey. That's all you got, monkey. That's the best you got. Shows that just kind of lets me know how ignorant you actually are. Because see, you can't even have a disagreement without throwing an attack, huh? Damn, your mama raised it. I don't know if you the man or you the woman. It don't matter because both of y'all look like y'all ain't what y'all supposed to be. But hey, it is
Management President Gary Countbomb. Great to see you all. The ruling is that the president's use
of no, Courtney, I'm sorry, that was my assistant. What assistant? Nigga, you ain't got no assistant. To my chat GPT.
1977 International Emergency Economic Powers Act, that's known as IEPA, which he used to impose
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Your mama like it though. Your mama like it though, gorilla.
was not lawful.
Purdy.
Now, here's where
Your
it gets a
mama
little
like it.
interesting. The ruling wipes out tariffs imposed under IEEPA, including those reciprocal tariffs on broad swaths of trading partners. The big question is, what is next? What will the administration do? How do you pay that money back if you have to? The court really didn't go there. Lydia Hu's been pouring through all this ruling this morning, and she's here to break it down for us. Hi, Lydia.
Yeah, hey, great to be with you, Jackie. I have been taking a look at this ruling, and you're right. And that the Supreme Court, although they strike down the wide sweeping use of the IEEPA tariffs, they don't squarely address exactly what comes next. But based on precedent and how this usually flows through the procedure of our federal courts, this case would now be handed back down to the lower courts. In this case, it would be the Court of International Trade. And it's up to them to determine whether and how monies that have been paid pursuant to the IEEPA statute would be returned to companies. And as of right now, there are upwards of 1,000 companies or more that have already proactively, preemptively filed their claims to that court saying, hey, I want to be first in line to get my money back if the Supreme Court were to rule this way, as they have, striking down this tariffs. Costco is one example. Bumblebee Tuna is another example. There has been a recent case that flowed through the Court of International Trade in which a similar situation presented itself. The Supreme Court struck down a different type of tax. It was a maritime tax, and it handed the case back.
See, there you go, Nick. No, because I'm not. I'm gonna tell you why. Because wasn't Biden a gorilla on there too? Oh, okay. So you just want to talk about that piece. Oh, so you just like everybody else, huh? Not saying I agree or disagree, but I'm saying you just like everybody else, huh? You want to talk about just because you see the two black people that were gorillas, which was Barack and Michelle, right? But then they also got Biden in there too, just like that. But hey, I digress. Which by the way, Biden is the most racist motherfucker that you could ever see. But hey, y'all don't want to have that conversation though. But y'all got Trump derangement syndrome. It's cool, bro. Like, hey, do your thing, bro. Do your thing. Do your thing. I know Purdy like to get banged from the back. That's why he talking the way he talking. He can't even give nothing measurable. He just talking just to be talking. He like to get banged from the back. He a cuck. That's exactly what he is. He a cuck, bro. He like his girl pounding. He like his girl bending him over and pounding him from behind. That's why he talk like that. That's why he talk like that. I don't trust no motherfucker who got spiked hair in the front like this. I don't trust it. I don't trust it at all.
Back down to the Court of International Trade, and they set up a process by which it
don't trust
established
it
a
at all.
refund for claimants, similar to this to what's happening here. And in that case, they oversaw the refund of roughly $700 million. But I can tell you, Jackie, it took them roughly 2 years to oversee the refund of all that money. And what we're talking about in this IEEPA situation,
I told you, Octa, I'm on one today. Today the birthday. I'm on one today.
Would be roughly $170 billion. Some estimates I have seen even more. So it remains to be seen what the process would be like to oversee the return of billions of dollars to 1,000 claimants or more. A much different situation, but that is
hey,
big.
Listen, y'all. I'm a pause it again. He said you can cook. I would bring it up, but he ain't put no super chat in there, so I'll keep him in the comments. He said you can cook all day for a white man. It ain't gonna work. You always gonna be that token black. That's your problem, That's your problem, Mr. Bend It Over. That's your problem. You think somebody cooking for a white man. Thing is, I got a mind for my own. I don't need you or anybody else telling me how I should vote and who I should vote for. That's the problem, big dog. That's the problem. But see, you too busy getting bent over and your girl tell you what to do, huh? Your girl run the household. She wear the pants in your relationship. You ain't got no say so. That's why you talking like a little woman right now. But hey, let's get back to the video though.
Open question at this moment.
Okay, we will get to the open question with the panel, but Lydia, while I have you, I just want to drill down on the ruling itself because I found this interesting that the Supreme Court did say the way the president enacted the IEEPA tariffs was to them a tax and therefore not, able to be upheld. But they didn't say that he couldn't do, they said he couldn't do these broad sweeping tariffs, but you could use IEEPA if you were more granular in your approach. You could use other statutes that are out there as well that the president used in his first term to impose tariffs, but that you had to be laser focused. You had to say which country it was, why it was an emergency with that particular country, and why you were going after them, rather than sort of this sweeping range of tariffs. And I thought that was important, that distinction, because it gives him.
And your mama still gonna be in my lap, nigga. Now what? Your mama still gonna be in my lap. That's why. She's still gonna be in my lap.
Power to move forward, and the other countries are going to realize it might take some time, but he can still do this.
That is correct. The question that was before the court is whether President Trump can use IEEPA to impose tariffs, and it really came down to the interpretation of two words that are included in the IEEPA statute, because it does not expressly say you can impose tariffs. It says it includes the power to regulate importation. So the question was, does regulate importation include the power to impose tariffs? And the Supreme Court says no. But that doesn't mean that President Trump cannot still continue to use tariffs as part of his kind of approach to governing. And in fact, the administration has been very clear. They are ready and they have a plan B. Kevin Hassett was just on this morning talking about that plan B. They're going to rely on other statutory provisions. Section 301 is one that they've spoken about quite a bit. Those other provisions, they're not quite as flexible as IEEPA. They do have some limitations, but I would say we should all be ready and prepared to hear about the plan B that is forthcoming from the Trump administration.
I think you're right, Lydia Hu. Thank you so much. So let's all dig into this here. David, I'll start with you. It was a 6-3 decision. The dissenters were Alito, Thomas, and Kavanaugh. Not particularly surprising there, but I will say this. I'm not a person that will all of a sudden, start criticizing the Supreme Court because I didn't get my way on a particular decision. What they did was go specifically by the statute, and that's what I expected them to do. So I'm not shocked by this ruling per se, but I'm not really sure that in the scheme of things it matters. The market is not falling out of bed over this. I do think it's a very tricky, confusing issue about how you return these funds, if they're returned at all. They were not specific on that. But the president accomplished what he wanted with the tariffs. The sweeping tariffs that he put out brought everyone to the table. They negotiated. Yep. He got some of those non-tariff.
So let me ask y'all, chat, let me ask y'all a question. How do y'all feel about buying locally, which means here in the United States, versus buying products outside of the United States? How do y'all feel about that? Do you typically buy here in America, or do you buy a lot of your shit from overseas? Out of your own pockets. We're not talking about taxes. We're not talking about buying cars. We're just talking about you see some shit on the internet. You say, you know what? Oh man, that shit's over there in Japan. I want that, so I'm gonna order it. What do y'all prefer? Do y'all prefer to buy here in the US, or do you prefer to buy overseas? Jeffrey says America.
Barriers to be removed from these countries. And so now
Jason says, I'm willing to pay more to buy American. I feel that.
they also realize he's got another avenue to go down if he wants to play hardball. I think that, to me, this is almost a non-issue, aside from the importance of the Supreme Court setting precedent on how you can use.
I know you're a lawyer, but that is the smartest legal political explanation for what has just happened that I've heard so far today. And what the president wanted to do was to change a trading structure that was essentially developed after World War II to help the.
Says Mark Block says we used to buy goods in America until early 1990s, then everything went downhill. Buy American.
World recover from a world war. There hadn't been a fundamental change of that policy where we were working so hard to help primarily Europe, but also we did it with Japan and other countries around the world. And so many of those policies, which may have been very important in the 40s and the 50s and even up to the 60s, had become archaic. They become
What's up, Mark?
an old rear view mirror from what did happen, from the way the world used to work, not the way the world is working now. Trump wanted to change that. He did. For all of the bombast from the Trump administration about how they were expecting to win this, I know that there are people in the administration.
Nigga, who gives a fuck about Nick Fuentes? Who gives a fuck about him? Who gives a fuck about Nick Fuentes? Who? Prudy, do you believe Joe showered with his daughter? You approve of this? Listen, we understand the position that Purdy stands on. He stands in the bent over position, bro. Y'all just let him or her, I don't know what he is. Y'all just let him continue to talk in the chat. Just let him do it. I'm telling you, he trolling y'all. That's why I started ignoring him. Or her, whatever the fuck he is. Can't trust nobody who wear V-necks anymore. But let's keep it going.
who felt that they were not going to win this. So they have all kinds of plans already in place. The problem is those plans are going to take a while to put into place. It's going to take a long time for them to come up with the studies for whether they use 338, 301, all of the number tariff rules. I've heard at least a year. Yeah, it's going to take at least a year to get this. So it's going to be frustrating for the administration that likes to get things done immediately, but I think we'll get over it. And as you say, the market is digesting it all pretty well.
I just want to highlight that the president is going to be giving some remarks at 12:45, so we will take him live to hear what his reaction is to this. But Marcus, I heard you talking earlier on the news channel about this specific issue, and I wanted to dive into this. What comes next? They were not specific about returning the money. So what does come next? Consumers paid some of that. Businesses are going to want some back. How do we handle this?
Well, we spent a lot of time talking over the last couple of months that we thought if this did get reversed, would the court say you don't have to give any of the money back? We're just not going to charge it going forward. That still is a possibility. The government says they have the money to.
No, that's what I'm saying. We understand that some things are just cheaper. Yeah, we get that. But again, in order for the money to circulate in the United States of America, wouldn't you want to buy American versus buying imports? Nobody's saying that you're 100% cleared from buying things from overseas. We're not saying that at all. But if you had the option to choose, like, well, listen, if I can get 90% of my products and the things that I buy from the United States of America, they would rather do that and live with the 10% of what they have to get from overseas. They would rather do that. None of it is absolute. Just because you're putting tariffs, that don't necessarily mean that's going to stop everybody from purchasing overseas. Businesses and consumer based don't matter. According to AKA Token Black Guy, here's our MAGA guide to bullshit. Exactly, Octa. That's what I'm saying. We know it's not reality. That's my point. That's my point. But at the end of the day, even if you decide to purchase something that's overseas, guess what? It gets taxed. But guess what? That money still circulates here, which then creates more dollars for us. So yeah, we understand that that's not the reality of the situation. Yeah, we're still gonna purchase things from overseas. Listen, Sokka, listen. You can't give fuel to people like that. You can't give fuel to people like that because they show their true colors. Which, hey, listen, I respect it because he, she, whatever the fuck he is, decided to put their face on the profile. So listen, we're gonna let them rock out. I mean, I don't trip. I don't take none of that personally. It just shows me more of who they are versus who I am. You see what I'm saying? So they just showing who they are. It's just a keyboard warrior. That's it. They just a keyboard warrior. So enlighten me on how it works then, Octa. Enlighten me on how it works then, bro.
Give it back. I think the problem is going to be who does it go back to? And that's the problem. You have all these small businesses, medium, large businesses like Costco and the one on Main Street asking for the money back. It's going to disappoint a lot of people. It's not going to go back to
Thanks, Jason.
I don't know that I agree with you on it's going to take a year to put some other action in place. I would have to assume that those folks in the
Oh yeah, that's a fact,
administration
Mark. That's a
anticipated
fact, Mark.
that there was risk.
They've
They're
got
going to
it
look
written
at
down.
301 the same way they're looking at China. And
Yep.
it's important for the American folks to know that China does not get off the hook here. 301 is still very much intact. 232, which is impacting Canada the most, is still very much intact. So what countries really win here? Well, the UK came out this morning and said they're very happy that the court now understands how to do all these things. The money's going to flow. I just don't know when, if ever.
I'll add to 301 and 232, Brian, that he used in his first term. There's also the Tariff Act of 1930, Section 338 and Section 122. Under 338, if there's
Man,
discriminatory actions.
is that the only joke you got? Is everything from Temu? You must love shopping from Temu, huh? That's what you got. You buy everything from Temu. You probably got that V-neck from Temu too, huh? You like Temu, huh? Purdy. You shop at Temu a lot, huh? I get it, bro. Do your thing. If you shop at Temu, do your thing, bro.
Countries upon us. You can impose a 50% tariff if under 122. If there are large or serious deficits, you can impose a 15% rate for a certain period of time. So those are two more options that are on the table. Marcus is probably right. They probably have truncated a long timeline here by getting a jump on this as the decision was being mulled over by the court. Your thoughts on the president moving forward? I wonder if he exercises these options, or I go back to my first thought, which is he essentially got what he wanted. You always use that thing in the car with the kids. I'll turn this car around. He turned it around, and they know that he will.
Yeah, they're already heading home. We're not going to Disney World, everybody. That plan has changed. The Tax Foundation, you mentioned all these codes you can use. Okay, there's so many of them. Tax Foundation, not a fan of the tariffs, but they did say if he could use Section 122 to basically recoup between 50 and 75% of the revenue that he's already planning to get on these tariffs. So here's what I love. The left is like, yes, this is a win. We have defeated Donald Trump. And like, he's going to reform, 80% of what he's done already if he wants to. It might be a little harder for him. It is not going to stop him. But here's the part nobody talks about. And I think this is like,
hey, y'all, I think I got it. I think Purdy want to be black. I get it. Purdy want to be black because he cannot stop talking about how black I am. Yes, nigga, we know I'm black. And I love every bit of this melanated skin, my G. You just mad because you can't be black and you want to be black so bad. So you got to project that onto me. I got it. I get you, bro. I get you now. I understand you. Hey, it's cool, man. You know what I'm saying? I get it. Because you age like sour milk. It's cool. You got to go to the tanning bed to get darker. I don't. You got to put spray tan on your skin in order for you to look darker because you want to look like me, homeboy. I get it. I understand it now. We got it. Hey, y'all, we understand it. Hey, chat, we got it. We figured it out. Purdy want to be black. Purdy mad because I can take his chick whenever I want to because she want to be with black guys. I got it. Because she don't like having to bend her man over and pin him up the wall and blow his back out. That's what she does. That's what she don't like. She want a black guy. You know what I'm saying? She want a real man. She don't want some softy. That's what she don't want. She don't want no softy. And that's exactly what he is. Cause look at him. He typing in caps. Look at him. Check him out. Look at him. He typing in caps. Y'all, we got him twisted. He hurt. He upset. We got him.
the long-term thing that really matters. Okay. So who decided against the president here? It was the Chief Justice.
Exactly, Jason. Exactly. He's upset. He's upset because he's a rainbow lover. That's what he's upset about. He got Trump derangement syndrome. And he want to be black. He's a white apologist. That's exactly what he is. He's a white apologist. But his true colors are showing. His true colors are showing right now, which he don't realize it. True colors are showing. But hey, I respect it though, because He don't give a fuck, which is cool with me. I really don't care either. But we see who he wants to be, though. We see.
And it was Gorsuch and it was Barrett, okay? And then it was the three liberals, right? What did the liberals have to do to rule against Trump in this case? And they knew they had to do this, and they hate it. They had to line up on the side of the major questions doctrine.
Yes.
Okay, now, and how do you know they know that? Because in their concurrence, what they say is, we think the ordinary tools of statutory interpretation support today's result. We do not join the part of that
Wait,
opinion.
so hold on. So I want to go back to Octavius. So what are you saying? How does the 10% not help us? What do you mean? How does the 10% not help the United States of America? So what you're telling me is that because we decide to put tariffs on other countries in order to sell products in the United States of America, it's hurting us? Is that what you're telling me? Is that what you're telling me? That's what I'm trying to understand. Is that what you're telling me? Or because you decide to purchase products outside of the United States of America, you're saying that's hurting America too? That's what you're telling me? I'm trying to understand.
Invoking the so-called major questions doctrine. Sorry, but you did. That's the side you're on. Their Trump derangement syndrome caused them to rule against
exactly.
the very
That's what I'm trying to get at, Mark. So people can tariff us, and they get money to help their country out so that their country can thrive. But the United States of America can't do that. But we can't tariff other countries though. That's what I'm trying to understand. Y'all act as if we're the only ones putting tariffs on other countries. Other countries are putting tariffs on us too. But because we had Biden in office, we weren't tariffing anybody. People were making money off of us, and we weren't making money off of them. What are we talking about? Why y'all think that? A great example, Jason. Why you think China thrives so well? Facts, Angel.
3 years ago in West Virginia versus EPA, they wanted to support, okay? Now, you can say they don't care about consistency. They'll just go whichever way they want to. Fine. But now their names are on a decision that says the administrative state can't run amok. Did it work against what Trump wanted here? Yes, it did. But if you love liberty and constitutional government, these guys do not, in my view, they just supported constitutional government and liberty. And I think Trump got a big win there, and nobody's giving him credit for it. I don't even think he's giving himself credit for it right now.
I'm going to do the totally non-legal thought process here, not bring up any code 301s or 275s and things like that. It seems like the Supreme Court said you can't do these tariffs. Oh, but by the way, you can do tariffs.
Right.
Last I looked, the president of the United States right now is Donald Trump. He's not taking a step backward.
What facts did I ignore? What facts did I ignore? You keep talking about a Doge check. What the fuck bro? Are you asking for a 5K Doge check? Is that what is that what you're expecting? You okay, bro? You all right over? You struggling over there? You struggling over that V-neck? You good? Cause you really want me to talk about the 5K Doge, huh? Are you good? Were you the one that was waiting on that check? You was hoping and praying for it? You probably was one of the same ones who got a stimmy check too, huh? You was hoping for another stimmy. That's what you was hoping for, huh?
He's not taking a step sidewards. He's just going to move forward and do whatever he wants to do. Probably less so but I don't think much is going to change going forward. I don't think we're going to get any, and thankfully, 150% tariffs. I actually think it's a good thing because we still do have to go back.
Bro, what are you... seriously, bro? What are you talking about, bro? Hey, what are you talking about, fam?
Back to who Congress and taxes, not out of the White House. Good to see that. But the fun...
No, what happened is they overturned it because he was overstepping. That doesn't mean that he can't put tariffs on other countries. That's the part, see, you missed the context of it. They overturned it because they said that he was overstepping. He was putting too much of a percent of a tariff on other countries. He's still going to implement a 10% tax. So what are you talking about?
Part's going to be the refunds.
Get your shit
try
together,
getting any
man.
money from the federal...
Get your shit together, Purdy. I get it, bro. You in your emotions, your panties in the water, bro. Relax, homie. Go take a drink. Go sip some Henny or some shit. That's what you ratchets do. Go sip some Henny or something. Go drink whatever it is that you drink. Go drink a pink drink or something. Whatever the fuck you drink. Go drink that and calm down. Relax.
Federal government paid back to you.
Right.
See in the year 2037.
Apparently
that's
you
what I
don't.
think's going to go on there. There already, I believe there's one coalition of 800 small businesses already out with an 8-pager, give us our money back. They didn't use any 4-letter words, but they just said, give us our money back. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. So I do believe we're going to have a free-for-all going forward. And I think we're going to be back to business. And we keep hearing about Plan B. I think we're probably going to stay with Plan A. Just to lesser so, because the Supreme Court, regardless if the president said this was a disgrace, they still do matter.
On the refunds, my assessment is that this will get tied up in court. So those small businesses are going to try to fight the Trump administration. Nobody tomorrow is taking out a checkbook in the federal government to voluntarily try to parse through what will be a very difficult process.
Go ahead and
Once you
ask
get
him a
through the court
question,
system,
Mark.
it will get tied up.
Go ahead and ask him a question, Mark. Go ahead and ask him that question.
Up there for some time to come. So I'm not really thinking that they're too worried about that right now. In some ways, it was good that the court, for the Trump administration, that the court didn't get into the specifics of that because it gives them an opportunity to kind of buy some time and figure out what they're going to do. But when I'm thinking about this, most of the trade agreements that we've seen, countries sort of came and they kissed Donald Trump's ring and they reversed things that were annoying him that didn't necessarily have to do with tariffs per se. So as I said, he's already won, but the big outlier in the room is China. Any thoughts on how China's looking at this decision today and saying, we're your toughest opponent. We might actually be what all this tariff nonsense was about. You were coming after us, and we haven't necessarily come to terms with you. Does this strengthen, David, China's situation or their position to fight back against the president?
You know, the Chinese have as many spies in America as we have in the whole world. And that's where they're using their human capital primarily right now. And I think everything that everybody has said here, as brilliant as it all has been, is something that they are already keyed into. They know how long it's going to take. They know that there are other options that President Trump has besides IEPA. They expected him to lose with the Supreme Court. So I think they have it all planned out right now. Their major concerns are, as always, stealing as much intellectual property as they can to keep pace up with the most innovative.
But see, this is the thing too, what a lot of people are understanding. Even just with the 10% by itself, it can help the manufacturing industry. It can help the steel industry. It can create more jobs. It can help stabilize a lot of companies that are over here right now, right? 10%, the 10% also, it helps shorten the deficit that we got in America. So while we're sitting up here having this conversation, oh, don't put the tariffs, because it's hurting the American people. No, it's actually helping the American people. Why do you think that we're able? Why do you think so many companies are creating a whole bunch of manufacturing jobs out here in America right now? There are so many warehouses that are being created out here in Arizona. And I think in the past 2 years, and it's still growing. They are building a hell of a lot of warehouses out here in America. And this is just Arizona in itself. I'm just talking about Arizona. So this helps create more jobs. It helps make America stronger. It shortens the deficit. But y'all worrying about, oh, well, it's for the consumers because, yeah, if you decide to make purchases overseas, yes, you're going to get taxed. Duh. That makes sense. You're going to get taxed. Of course you are. No jobs are not being... What jobs are being lost? Hey, shout out to you, Cutting Edge 8293 for the $5. He said the thing is Trump used the IEEPA's laws, but now he's using the other ones to impose tariffs. One of them are the 232, 19 USC 1862. Simple. Yep. Those tariffs are still gonna happen. So many jobs were lost and so many jobs were created. So what are you talking about? That's what I'm saying. You're saying one aspect. This still creates more jobs. There are still more jobs being created. Yes, there are some jobs that are gonna get lost in the process. Some people it's gonna happen. But there's still more jobs being created. Is there not? Just answer this question. Are there more jobs being created? Yes or no? With these tariffs, will more jobs be created? Yes or no? That's just a yes or no question.
Country in the earth, and that is the United States. So I don't think it's going to change much there.
Exactly.
I should say though that the question of the emergency, it's an emergency, international emergency is the essentially what IEEPA means. And the Supreme Court didn't specifically say what the emergency was.
So you're sitting here telling me that it's not creating more. If a product from overseas costs $100, a 10% tariff makes it $110 before retail markup. That narrows the price gap between foreign and American-made goods. Okay, so this is why you should encourage buying American, right? So what happens is, if U.S.-made goods are now competitively priced, consumers may shift to domestic businesses that could increase revenue for the U.S. manufacturers, potentially protect or create jobs, strengthen certain industries, which I mentioned, manufacturing and steel, generate government revenue, right? Let me see, what does that look? Okay. Increase leverage in trade negotiations, right? Tariffs can be used as pressure. The message is, if you want access to our market, play fair. Simple. Now, in regards to what you're saying, I'm looking at it right now, big dog. I'm looking at it right now. That's exactly what I'm reading to you. That's exactly what I'm reading to you. And you heard exactly what I just said. So yeah, thank you. Thank you. Chat GPT. I'm reading it to you right now. Importers usually pass the tariff down the chain. Supplier, retailer, consumer. Yes, correct. So everyday Americans may pay higher prices. Yes, if you decide to purchase overseas. I said that. Did I not? I did say that. Thank you very much. Small businesses can get squeezed. Yes. Small businesses can get squeezed. If a U.S. business relies on imported parts or materials, their costs go up. Not every American company is fully American sourced. I said that. If Canada or another country adds tariffs back on U.S. goods, American farmers, auto manufacturers, energy producers can lose export demand. Broad tariffs can push prices up across categories depending on how widespread they are, which means inflation pressure. But inflation has gone down. So what are we talking about? So now that you dared me to read off of Chat GPT, which I did and I showed you, now you got to put a super chat up there just because of it. Thank you. Let me read this super chat as well. Cutting Edge 8293, man, shout out to you for the 20 ball, dog. Appreciate you for that 20 ball.
Listen, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out
Oh, I clicked the wrong goddamn button. Don't worry about it though.
That's top dog aura right there.
So Cutting Edge says, brother, the jobs lost are from the public. Government, they take our taxes to pay them. And other ones are from illegals. The real ones, real ones are private jobs. I come legally here, and I know this because in my country it happens. Hey man, shout out to you, bro, for showing love, dog. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. I appreciate you for showing love. Yeah, they act like, what are we talking? Courtney, you making too much sense for their leftist brain. That's what I'm saying. I'm reading, right? I'm reading. He wanted me to read Chat GPT. I made sure I did that for him. And boom. Said everything that I just explained. But I'm the crazy one though.
Whether or not they disagreed with that actually being an emergency, but that's basically what they were saying. He just wanted to use the tariffs to get things done, to change policies without there being a real emergency. Again, there may be a specific point. I haven't seen it so far. If anybody here has, I'd be interested in knowing, but I haven't seen them specifically say that there was an emergency of any kind that President Trump was pointing.
I just want to bring you this.
Let me say this though, and I'll keep it playing. I'll let it play the rest of the way through. But let me say this to the chat. Hey, whether you agree with me or not, you can say whatever you want. I really don't care. I don't take it personally. But I appreciate y'all for engaging in the chat, for talking. You know, I appreciate you, even though, you know, Purdy be on the left side. I ain't tripping. You know what I'm saying? Do what you do. Feel how you want to feel. Don't care, right? But I appreciate y'all for engaging in the chat. So shout out to y'all, man.
From our senior White House correspondent, Jackie Heinrich. She said, according to a source outside the administration on the president's reaction to the tariff ruling during a governor's breakfast, quote, an aide came in, handed him a note. He called it a disgrace, and then he went on with the remarks. Now, he is going to address it, and people are going to want to hear what he has to say. But yesterday, he was in Rome, Georgia, and he was drilling his message home on the economy because the midterms are just months away, and he's really trying to campaign for the GOP on this and get the message out that they have done, despite all of the tariffs, they have done so much for the economy. Can we listen to what the president said yesterday?
Airfares, hotels, car payments, rent, sports events, groceries. Everything's down. Everything's down. Dairy, eggs, potatoes, and chicken. Core inflation is now the lowest of any time in more than 7 years. The last 3 months, we've had the lowest inflation we have had in over a decade. The last 3 months, it's 1.4%. We had record inflation. You don't have it anymore. We brought back the American dream, and we have a country, I think, that within the next 12 months, maybe sooner, but within the next 12 months, it's going to be the greatest it's ever been.
So I don't think, Marcus, he's going to give this decision too much oxygen, but I think he's going to focus on that message.
He should. Here's what I have not heard today. What's the Fed going to do now? Because they've been saying we can't lower rates because we think inflation is still an issue. We think inflation is an issue because of tariffs. And if tariffs at the level that they were are no longer on the table, what is their argument now, next week, the week after, to not lower rates? The exaggeration that I felt happened a little bit in Georgia by saying everything was cheaper may actually come to fruition if the Fed actually makes this move. And I think we need to focus a little bit more on that. And if
Man, at the end of the day, bro, tariffs are good. It's going to help the American country. We put those 10% tariffs on everybody. It's going to help strengthen our country. I don't care what all these liberals are talking about. If you decide to go and make purchases overseas, guess what? Yep, you're going to get taxed. It's part of business. It's going to happen. It is what it is. We got to keep the money. We're going to charge you extra. So just like it was saying, if it's $100, we're going to pay you that. We're going to charge you that 10%, which is going to be $110. Be what it is. You're going to have to learn to adjust. Y'all do it anyway. Y'all adjust anyway. So you'll be all right. That's exactly, Jason. And it ain't permanent. So they can relax. Calm the fuck down, man. Jesus Christ. But listen, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for the algorithm, and make sure you hit the bell notification. Listen, I'm right. Listen, y'all, the chat, y'all going crazy today. I rock with y'all, man. Even Purdy, I rock with you. Even though you a racist joker, I rock with you, bro, because you out here going crazy in the chats. Even though you still ain't showing love to the super chats, though, that's some hoe shit, though. That's some hoe shit. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Yep, I'm calling you out. I'm calling you out. I'm calling you out. You don't want to show love? Call it what you want. You ain't showing it. If you say you love the token black man, how about you put a token in the super chat? How about you do that? All right. Then we can have a conversation. But I want to get over to, damn, should I talk about this? Matt, you in here? Macaroni, you still here? I don't know if I want to talk about this or not. Just like toys from China, the plastic has lead in them. If we make them here, if we make twice in America, we would have the safer toys with no lead in them. Yep, facts. In Georgia lives, we'll see you later, bro. Hoping you find that white woman. I don't need a white woman. That's the problem. I got your mom over here. Your mom over here. That's why I don't need one. I already got one. It's your mom. But Macaroni, you here? I don't know if I want to talk about this next topic. I gotta ask the chat. You gotta ask the chat. I don't think he's here. I don't think he's here right now. But I'll come back to it. I want to talk about this. I got a question to ask the chat. Because now we're shifting gears. We're shifting gears a little bit. Do you believe men and women can be platonic friends without one or the other catching feelings? Generally speaking, we're not talking about the exceptions to the rule. In general, can men and women actually be platonic friends? Actually. What do y'all think? Because apparently they're trying to cancel Cam Newton because Cam Newton said that you can't be platonic friends. He don't want to be platonic friends. So we're going to hear what he got to say about it, and then I'll give my thoughts and opinions on it. All right? So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell notification. Let's rock out.
not a lot of women, no woman has ever.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't always show that to the world, but we locked in.
Okay.
Can I
beautiful perspective.
Thank you.
Perspective.
I know that's
right, brother.
Appreciate you. Even though, we get dragged. Drag D's! Let's go into our questions. All right, I just went viral for saying I don't have platonic friends that are women.
Yes, I saw that.
Is there a reason that we're saying platonic? Just out of curiosity.
What's wrong with platonic?
Because I thought it was platonic. Am I wrong or right?
You say tomatoes or tomatoes?
Eclectic.
You say
That's what
pecan
or
or you say
eclectic.
pecan? Yeah, like we over here acting like we all graduated from college
We did.
with doctors and
Well, we
masters
did.
and PhDs. And
I'm just
philosophy.
kidding. But I was asking if there was a joke that I'm missing out on.
No, it's platonic.
Okay, go ahead.
What would you like me to say it? How would you like it?
Just say what you want to say.
Platonic.
Play with it.
So with your man, can he have platonic relationships with other women?
Absolutely.
Okay, how are you identifying platonic?
They have never played with that coochie.
I thought you was gonna say with that tonic.
They don't do that. But yeah, I don't, because I have platonic male friends. And it's never been like, I have a platonic friend that I met when I was 15, my best friend, and
He's straight?
He's straight, and he's now my brother-in-law. Never hit on me, always protected me, never was like that. Him and my sister have been together for years. I have a lot of.
That's a different dynamic.
It's not. He was my brother before he even knew my sister.
Yeah, that's a different dynamic.
It's not though, because I knew him like years before him and my sister got together.
Okay, platonic to me is, first off, a working relationship. If I work alongside, as you've seen beautiful women,
Very
here,
beautiful women. Black women, might I add.
correct, that I work alongside with, that's not platonic. That's a working relationship.
Okay.
So when I say platonic, we have no business to be had together. It's just, yo, I seen you at the gym. Yo, what's up? You good? You straight? I'm just checking in on you. Like that, I don't have those.
Oh, yeah, I have those.
Yeah. Like, but to me, can I be honest?
Please.
When men say that they can't have platonic relationships with women, that makes me feel like you don't look at women as human beings.
Why would you say that?
Here we go with the shame, insult, guilt, and need to be right. Here we go with the shaming language. Here we go.
My producer is a woman.
Because
But you just said that's a business relationship.
Because you said that's a business relationship, because they are working for you. They're showing up for you because they're getting paid. No shade. But I say this to say, if you can't have a normal, hey, what's up, Ken? How you been? Just checking on you. You good? Because you don't look at them like human beings that are not sexual.
No.
This is so stupid. This is so stupid. It's just like looking at a dude as an associate. Nigga, you're not my friend for real. We're just an associate. Like, hey, what's good, fam? You straight? Everything good? But no, 9 times out of 10, that dude is waiting for his opportunity to bust you down. We're not going to sit here and gaslight. We're not going to sit here and be disingenuous. 9 times out of 10, he want to smash. The only time that I would probably see that not happening is if he trying to get with your friend and not you. So he got to get in good with you first in order to get to the friend. Other than that, 9 times out of 10, he want to bust that down. If you presented and this is where we always got to go to this conversation of a lot of women just be out here and they just be in wonderland, don't be knowing what the fuck is going on. You think you sitting up here telling me you really think this nigga ain't trying to bust you down if the opportunity didn't present itself? Come on, man. I don't want to hear that.
You're trying to shift the narrative that makes me out to be a person that doesn't know what I'm trying to refrain from, right? I don't want to have any loose ends. I don't want to put myself in a position that I know myself. It has nothing to do with me not looking at them as not being human beings or you not being human beings. But if we don't have nothing, and this is coming from a person, I don't have any male friends. So let's just throw that out there too. If we're not making money together, bro, if we're not doing anything that better ourselves, there's not a person that could be like, yo, like Cam's my former teammates. Yeah, but we were former teammates. It's not a person that I'm checking for like, hey, bro, what you about to get into? Hey, let's go. That's not who Cam is. It's either I'm with, I'm working,
Nah,
or I'm
we
home.
gonna add
That's
more
my
context.
life. So platonic female relationships, I don't have. Platonic men relationships, I don't have. I just don't.
Okay, well, that's understandable if you're saying you don't have friends, period. It doesn't have to be a gender thing, but when it came with the clip I saw, it came off like, oh, I don't have female friends because you can't control yourself.
It was giving lack of control. Like that, so I would rather just not have women friends because I know I might cross that line of friendship.
Well, even if it was though, is that a problem?
Yeah, because also because you want to cross that line, that don't necessarily mean she do.
That's
so
why.
y'all can still be friends.
That's you see this how the way that they're talking, they sound like Purdy when we was talking about Trump. That's exactly how they sound. It's a lot of shaming language. So you're telling me that this man doesn't have the discipline. You're telling me that he doesn't have the discipline, right? But he's disciplined enough to sit here and tell you, listen, I can't be friends with you, bro. I can't be friends with you because this could potentially lead to something. Not saying that I wanted to, but I understand the dynamics. I understand the situation. There can be a time where the stars are aligning, and then next thing you know, some shit end up popping off. So in order to refrain from that, in order to remove myself from the situation, I'd rather not be friends at all. Because then, again, you already know if he wanted to bust you down already and you still decide to be platonic friends, right? You decide to still be platonic friends, you know in the back of your mind if that opportunity presented itself, he will bust you down. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is crazy.
Cool, but listen.
Or now is it a rejection thing?
It's not. No, it's not a rejection thing. It's a understanding. What happened to understanding? Like, yo, if a person is fighting an addiction,
okay,
and hey, you're going through these AA meetings, or you're going through the steps to become a better version of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you position your everyday walk of life passing what you're trying to get over?
So you telling me you so addicted to them yams that you can't have a friend?
It has nothing to do with yams or friends.
But
it
that's
has everything to do
making.
with I know me.
So you don't have control. You lack self-control.
However you want to. What about saying, hey, I respect you for knowing yourself enough to not cross that line in any type of relationship?
But why can't you not cross it? Like,
I'm cordial.
Okay.
Like you. This is.
But that's why I said you don't look at attractive women beyond being something that you can fuck on.
Facts. I'm gonna call it for what it is. If it ain't a working relationship, nope. Remove that from me. Remove thyself from me. We ain't got no reason to be friends. We don't. Let's be 110% clear. Y'all been in the situation before when you holler at a chick and she tell you she got a boyfriend, but you telling me you can't have friends? Nigga, that friend shit ain't what he mean. He still want to get your number. So therefore, when that opportunity presents itself, it's go time. Come on, bro. And the fact that they had the opportunity to close that door right there. Like, you know what? I respect the fact that you know yourself well enough not to put yourself in a compromising position, nor put yourself in that position with that woman who may not be looking for what it is that you're looking for. So now you remove yourself completely. So no, you still can't be friends because it ain't happening. No. Live with it and move on. But then you're throwing all this shaming language in. Oh, you just don't have the discipline. Well, I got the discipline enough to know myself and not put myself in that position.
I just don't cross that line. I'm cordial. It's not that I don't make eye contact. It's not that I don't communicate. It's not that I don't try to be of service to them in any capacity. It's just a line that I'm not just willing to. I say this and this goes back to me being honest.
Mm-hmm.
I rarely give my number out. I talk to a lot of people on Instagram.
Okay.
Right?
And they can decipher them letters?
Yeah, they do.
Ooh.
And it's one of those things like I protect my peace.
All right.
As an individual that knows that, and for somebody that may hear this and say, oh, I knew he was, that's cool. That don't move me.
Okay.
What moved me is a person that realizes like, yo, he been communicating with me on Instagram for real. Like, dang, like, yeah, because my peace is more important than anything else to me, because when I have to show up for individuals, whether I'm working alongside them, whether I'm trying to be there as a family member, or just making a solid business decision, I want to have pristine focus on that. And I don't want no distractions. So if I'm at that particular point where I'm saying to myself, hey,
that's what it sounds like.
This is, I don't want nothing to sway me away from that. So male or female, we ain't platonically
anything.
No.
Okay. I can understand it. Like I said, if it's from humans, you don't fuck with humans, people.
It don't matter. Even if
but in the clip, it seemed like
even if it was just women, nigga, no, I don't care. No. Move on. Now that you know, now that you got the information, now that you understand, okay, cool. Well, listen, we know we can't be friends with him because, you know, hey, he don't want to be in that compromising position. So good to know. And you move the fuck on. Why is it such a hard conversation?
It was women only, but now that you put it that way,
it did.
I understand.
Don't get no.
There's something under that hat.
But what was your question? Because
it's just like how white people always gotta bring up black. You know how white liberals always gotta try to be Captain Save-A-Ho for the black community. Then you got black people who always trying to play victim as if every white person out here is racist like Purdy, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's wild. It's wild.
I'm sorry.
I was just asking, in her relationship, could a woman have a platonic relationship with your boyfriend?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think so too.
Right.
You mind your relationship, I'ma mind mine.
Especially if they were friends before.
Yeah.
Like, but that's
No.
my thing.
What if they're not though?
Like y'all all of a sudden
What's up,
becoming
baby?
friends
That's
after
what I'm
we
saying.
married. I don't know about it. But if she was already in his life, I would.
And I ain't gonna lie, it depends on the friend.
Like, come on, like,
hey, Dragon trying to come be my husband friend. What you want, big booty bitch?
No.
But the funny thing is, to be honest, people, I don't be wanting nobody man, so you wouldn't have to worry about
I know,
it.
I'm just
It ain't about that. It ain't about that. But no,
But I'm
see,
kidding.
this is what be happening.
Oh, okay.
See, when Cam sit up there and say certain things, and then y'all be like, nah, you wrong. But then all of a sudden, when you say, well, they friends, it's too many parameters that's being kind of shoved in after the fire done got started. What does it matter? If you're going to have a platonic friend, whether he knew him or knew her before you or after you, it's a platonic friend. Are you allowing your man to have a platonic friend? Yes or no?
No, I feel like it's a layered question. And that's why
it's not. It's simple. It's a
you
question.
have to provide more context. No, it's
The
not.
context is, are you allowing your man to have a platonic relationship with another woman?
Yes, if he knew her before me.
And that's it.
And that's it. If he met her after, no, because I don't know the history of the relationship. The history is what makes me feel comfortable. So if you were friends with this person before me and y'all never had no type of romantic relationship or anything, I'm cool with that. But somebody new coming into the picture, bitch, I don't know what your intentions are.
Thank you.
I don't know what the intent is, and that's what the issue is for me. With somebody who's been there, I know the intent.
No, you don't. This delusion is fucking crazy. You don't know. Who gives a fuck if he was there before? No, nigga, no platonic friends. Absolutely not. Ain't happening. The stars align. The stars always align someday. No. Remove yourself from the situation, bro. We're not doing this. This is crazy.
Like, hypothetically, I would say, like, yes, I am okay with it, but also it depends on who you're dating. Like we said, hypothetically, say me and you we were married.
Correct.
A woman trying to come be Cam Newton friend, you want that spur. I know what you want. I know what you came for.
Nuts.
Or that money.
Because you know you like to give it out.
A little swimmer.
And she want a little bit.
This nigga just giving it out. What the hell?
That's all I'm saying.
I like where we at. This is the thing. Like, I want us to really have a real conversation because there's too many tap dancing that's happening. Not just, I'm not speaking on this particular discussion. I'm talking about when you really lay the question out and you start to say, Cam really ain't crazy. Like, he's really like.
I see you took it too far.
He the person that's really saying how
you crazy.
No.
But
You a little,
you
a
are
little crazy.
Some of the marbles still on that field. But
are they shining or they dull? Because I need to shine the marble.
You shining.
A few
shining.
shining. But let me tell you, I'm gonna give you your props, Ken, right now.
Mm-hmm.
Cause you know what? I'm finna tell on myself a little bit. When I was in school,
I think
and
they do
like
take
that
over.
class of y'all that like went to the league and stuff, like y'all was it. Like y'all was them. You know what I'm saying? And now you be so happy. You be like the guys that you used to have crushes on, and you see where they are now, and you're like, oh my God. So I will say you have done very well for yourself. So the marbles, some of them dull, but enough are shiny to where you still got it. You know what I'm saying? The balls is shining.
The balls is shining.
The balls is shining.
Appreciate
the
that.
too.
I'll take that.
All right.
Let's get into these questions because if you did know, I sent out a.
That's some wild shit, bro. That's some wild shit. That's some wild shit. This is why it's so hard to have these type of conversations with these type of women. Women who think like this. No, you can't. Ultimately, no, you can't. Yeah, there are some exceptions, but the exception don't make the rule, right? Generally speaking, 9 times out of 10, there's always, if you have a quote unquote platonic relationship, male and female, 9 times out of 10, one of them will be interested in the other. Whether it's the guy who's waiting on his opportunity, or it's the woman who then figures out like, you know what? I never thought about I actually rock with him. I never actually thought about it. Then some shit pop off. Anything can pop off. You can be dating a guy, next thing you know, he break your heart, you upset, and now you emotional as hell. And then now just because you in your emotions, you go and do something sporadic. Now you get in this relationship with this dude, or you end up letting him bust it down. Now guess what? You done something. Now that shit goes past platonic. You in this friendship with someone that you done already busted open for. Nah, we good. We good on that. We're gonna make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for the algorithm, and make sure you hit the bell notification. All right. Let me read some of these comments real quick. Jason says, Courtney, there was a time in this country when everyone thought like Cam. It was considered appropriate to not have female or male friends once in a relationship. The facts. But now everybody want to be able to have, oh, that was my best friend. How come we can be in a relationship? Because, well, what you mean? You don't need it. You don't need it. If it's not other females, you don't need a male. You don't need a male friend. I'm your male friend. That's all the male friend that you need. Just as on the other side of men, you don't need a woman friend. You got all the woman friend that you need. Now, if you're your homies, that's a whole different game because ain't neither one of y'all trying to fuck on each other. Or nor would that ever come across, nor would that path ever come across unless he's a part of the ABC community. And then 9 times out of 10, even the person in the ABC community, he ain't gonna even try to do that because he don't look at y'all like that. He look at y'all as a friend. So you don't have to worry about that happening. So no, you can't. So yes, in this sense, yes, it is a gender thing. We ain't tiptoeing around nothing over here. No, it is a gender thing. No, you cannot be friends. Hell no. Absolutely not. Let me tell you why. I was once a friend. So we know. Cam Newton was once a friend. I'm pretty sure every guy in this chat right now was once the friend at some point in their life. So when we say, nah, you can't be platonic friends with no dude, hell no, we mean that. Because we understand what happens on the other end. For real, Tech, listen, I'm not saying it happened recently. I'm just saying it happened in my past lifetime. You know what I'm saying? In my younger years. You know what I'm saying? Younger years, long time ago. You feel me? So we understand. Because some of us have been the friend. so we understand what's going on. So when we say no, absolutely not. He said you plead the fifth. He said he plead the fifth. He said he plead the fifth. Listen, I got a question to ask. And Ted Coach, you tell me, listen, Ted Coach, you tell me if I should or not. So I was going to do a reaction video on Jazz and Lucky about them talking about the whole situation with, excuse me, with Anton and Mika. Should I do it? Should I do it or should I leave it alone? Because one thing I want to preface it by saying this. I'm not doing it for clout, right? I'm not doing it because, oh, it's Anton and it's the visibility. Nah. Because I think there's a sit. I watched a little bit of that live yesterday. And I'm just like, this is something that they've been waiting on. Especially Jazz. Because she really has, I personally think, I could be wrong, I could be 110% wrong, but I really think that she got ADS. She got Anton derangement syndrome. I really think so. I really think Jazz got ADS. Real talk. I really think she has a disdain for him. So, because you know what I'm saying, you and I, we both watched the Millionaire Morning Show. You know, we watch After Hours and all that. I was waiting on my guy. Macaroni Tony too to answer the question, but he ain't answer. So I'm gonna ask you: do you think I should do a reaction video on that live stream, or should I just leave it alone and just move on to the next topic? What you think, Jason? Everyone talking. I know everybody's talking about it, right? But the thing is, I don't want to be the one that's eating off of that in a sense of, oh, I'm just doing it just so I can eat off of it. Like, nah. Because to be honest with you, I'm on the opposite side of what everybody else is saying about Anton. You know, everybody want to see his downfall, right? I'm on the opposite side of it. I'm on the opposite side. But I do my best to be objective when I'm having a discussion, when I'm talking about it. Or if I were to talk about it, I'll do my best to be objective. If everybody else eat, why not eat too? I guess so, huh? You said why not eat too, huh? Interesting. He said if everybody eating, why not you? Alright. So I guess I will. But here's the thing. I want to make sure I'm coming at this from an objective standpoint as much as I possibly can, right? Yeah, I cut it, bro. Yep, I sure did. I cut it. I want to make sure I come at this from an objective standpoint, though. But y'all already know where I stand. All right, so we're gonna get it. So we're gonna go ahead and get into it. So we're gonna talk a little bit about it. Anton Daniels and the Mika situation. But more so, we're gonna listen to this reaction video from Lucky Mary and Jazz Noel, and I don't know the other lady that they had on there with them. So we're gonna listen in on that a little bit, and then I'm gonna get my thoughts and opinions. All right. So if I go off the rails a little bit, bear with me. All right. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Let's rock out.
Stuff off. He loves that. This is very Anton. There's nothing like.
But this is the thing. If she's drunk, or is this climax drunk?
You said this was when? You said this was after Corey?
Uh-huh.
Oh, so he got her some drinks, make her feel better?
Well, I mean, what can we say about the eyes? That, I mean, it's either liquor or it's something else.
She looks happy.
She's happy. She's euphoric bliss. We've been there. Girl, I've been there, girl.
Not for that.
Okay. Not for that, though. Woofy, man. He said, I just crashed the whip pose and the time was had. But this is the part about it, because if it's married people in a hotel room, I just feel like I don't want people to be sitting this, because people be married, but people aren't in together. So we don't know the nature of this woman's relationship, but because we don't know, it's still disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? And then I just believe that they're showing more of your past of being more like an out there rapper chick. This would have been on cue had you maintained that image. You get what I'm saying? But because of this, I don't know how you can redeem yourself in the conservative MAGA lane. Like full blown. And then you went on tour and they asking you, said we were just strictly business. What? This is not strictly business. And then it's like, girl, what was you doing in that room? We're only asking.
I want to see what she say.
Okay.
What is your hair doing?
He clocked it immediately.
They said you had the Glock out, bro. That's what the street saying.
You on mute, Mika.
You on mute, Mika. That's what the street saying. They say you was the shooter, bro.
I was the what?
You was the shooter. Man, I'm just letting you know what the street's saying. I'm out here in the LA streets right now.
You shot the sheriff.
Yeah, they were like, man, Mika was the shooter, cuz.
No, man, I just came upstairs. No, man, I just came upstairs.
What you laughing at, Fantasy?
He said conservatives be fucking too, and they do. But she said, I just came upstairs.
I just came upstairs. Like they in the house.
They got a two-story. They got a two-story hotel room.
Right. Like, what are you talking about?
Presidente?
He put her downstairs, and he's on the presidential suite.
What you mean? What you mean they got? You see what I'm saying, bro?
Presidente?
He put her downstairs, and he's on the presidential suite.
What you laughing at,
So, now watch this.
He said,
so you see what Lucky Mary just said, right? She's like, what? There's a two-story on the floor. It's a two-story in the hotel now. Like, shorty, you
conservatives be
got
fucking too, and they do. But she said, I just came upstairs.
I just came upstairs. Like they in the house.
They got a
She was
two-story.
like they in the house or something. Bitch, it's a hotel. You got multiple stories in the hotel. So if she just came upstairs, she could have been one floor under, 2 floors under, but she still had to go up the fucking stairs or the elevator in order to get to the fucking room. You see what I'm saying, bro? But we gon'
They got a two-story hotel room.
Right. Like, what are you talking
Presidente?
He put her downstairs, and he's on the presidential suite. He put her downstairs with the help.
Like, what is going on?
No, man, I just came upstairs.
I might be wondering why I played that 3 times, because you got to have an eye for this shit. When you offer information out of guilt so you can get ahead of it and control the narrative, you do something called a confession leak. So what the fuck you saying, House of Hypocrites? She know that the perception of her being in Anton Daniels' room at 2 to 3 a.m. in the morning is not going to look right because she's somebody's wife and he's somebody's husband. So
2 to 3 a.m. in the morning, but wasn't she in the room around 9 p.m., 10 p.m.? So where you get 1 to 2 p.m. at? Where you get 1 to 2 a.m. at? Where you get 1 to 2? Where you get 1 to 2 at? They went in California. What time does after hours normally go on? Around what time? 9, 10, some shit like that. So when you think about that time, you gotta think about what time it is over there in the West Coast. They was on West Coast time, right? So which means the time was probably 3 hours back. So you're probably in there between 8 to 10. Exactly. So they're talking about East Coast time. But they were in the West Coast. So that's 9 to 10 o'clock at night. Shit's still going on in California while everybody's asleep. Yeah, shit's still going on over there in LA while people over there sleep on the East Coast. But I digress. Let's keep it going.
when she got a chance to actually kind of articulate herself, knowing that she fucking drunk, knowing that her hair all fucked up, she did not arrive to Corey Holcomb's studio like that. So she got to this confession league because it looked wrong, because it is wrong, and that guilt.
Okay, first of all, this girl is gorgeous, whoever she is. I just want to say that we like scandalous stuff. It's provocative, like he said. We like this type of shit. Okay, But the problem I think it is that what if her husband always dogging her out and then she don't give a fuck? Because we know when we cheat, we want him to find out.
Ew.
We want him to find out. What you ain't know?
Or could it be, just saying, just based off of what we know right now, they both went to the Corey Holcomb show. She wasn't wearing that. She wasn't wearing that what she has on right now, right? She's in Anton's room. She also mentioned that she came from upstairs, right? Which means she probably got undressed to put some more comfortable clothes on, right? So that could answer why her hair looks the way that it looks. But nobody stopped to think about that though. Nobody stopped to think about that though. Nobody stopped to think about that. We're automatically going to the scandal. But we're gonna get to the scandal part in a minute though.
Ever cheated?
I'm hell no, and I'm definitely not gonna cheat with nobody that look like
You
that.
know, in any other way, I would pull an old video of you saying the opposite, but we're gonna just be cute today.
Pull it.
Oh, I will get it. She's talking about, oh, I'll cheat back. I cheat back. I cheat back.
And that ain't the same.
But I'm saying speculation while we're here speculating.
Oh,
we
so
don't
you're
know.
saying that he cheated on her, so she's cheating now.
Saying she could be cheating back. We don't know.
I doubt
My
it.
thing is, what is the tour for if this was here? You know what I'm saying? Because apparently they're saying the video was taken down or it's altered. That reminds me of before of
exactly. Exactly, Ted Coach. Exactly. Mind you, he was also on Corey Holcomb's channel too. Because Corey Holcomb was rocking with him. But hey, I digress. They don't want to have that conversation though. So it's already biased from the jump.
the situation where Anton was drunk eyes, whatever, saying stuff, and then that video was altered as well. My thing is, in Natasha K,
yeah, all of it is speculation. That's what I'm saying. It's all speculation. So if it is speculation, I get it, but you got to take your personal feelings of how you feel about Anton and or Mika. Take your personal feelings out of it, of how you feel about them. And then have that conversation. We could say, everybody could say, listen, the optics of it look crazy. But what I'm not going to do is sit here and say he did this or he did that or they did this because, oh, you're two married individuals. I will never. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Yeah, HOH was, he was on Corey Holcomb show. Yeah, he brought him up. I forgot what it was. It was about I think it was about Dr. Cheyenne Bryan. When he did some research on Dr. Cheyenne Bryan, when he found out that Shorty ain't even got no she ain't even got no real doctorate degree. I think that's what he brought up. He brought him up on that situation. But in this regard, considering the fact, this is why it's important to pay attention to a lot of things that Anton does say. Pay attention. It was a while back before the Corey Holcomb shit. They have a question. How does anyone know no one else was in the room? Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. How does anybody know nobody else is in that room, right? How do we not know that? And here's the bigger question though. Were they live? Were they there when AD said, I think this happened before 2026. Yeah, this happened before 2026, right? When he said, hey, y'all, I need to think of a scandal. I need to think of a scandal. I need to think of something. That's going to make the internet go fucking crazy. Nope, they're not platonic. It's a working relationship. Exactly, Jason. It's a working relationship. Like Cam Newton said, nigga, it ain't no platonic. It's a working relationship. He said, I need to figure out a scam. I need to find a scam. What better way to create a scandal with someone who is attractive, who's trying to make her way up the ranks in this YouTube world? You got a bunch of people who dislike Anton. I'm talking about they got a hate for this nigga. And Jazz probably one of them. And mind you, I said probably. I didn't say she is. I said probably. But the way that she reacts to him, the optics of it looks as if she really hates this nigga. See what I'm saying? See how I'm careful with the words? I said the optics of it. Didn't say she did, but. And so everybody was so ready to see this pop off. Everybody was so ready. They were so ready. And then there was somebody else who created another video. It was a while back. They tried to go back to the video in which they had Rita. Shout out to them. They did Rita when she was talking about how Anton may be a little crazy, right? All the while, Anton was the one filming the goddamn video. So who looked like the fool? Because until we get the actual confirming evidence, irrefutable, can't deny it, you can't look the other way. You just gotta call it a spade. Like, you know what, bro? That's what it is. I can't turn my head on it. I can't turn a blind eye. This is what it is. Until we get that, it's all gonna be speculation. But you also got to be able to pay attention to everything that I just said too. It's content. What better way? As somebody who done moved up the ranks, who been going off on people since Fight Club, who been going off on people in Lapeef, talking shit about women, went off on Jazz several goddamn times, and go off on a whole bunch of black women, go off on a whole bunch of black men. He go off on a whole bunch of white people too, white men and women alike, everybody, right? What better way to get people riled up than a scandal with an attractive woman while he's a married man, a conservative man, a Christian man? Sounds too much like right?
With Anton, he was very open about his marriage and them being okay with it. I think the problem is, I don't know, I've never judged that situation because clearly she's okay with it. However, if you're in this room, the only question that we all have now is your husband okay with this? And based on the interviews, it doesn't seem like he is, because you wouldn't be taking the steps to clean things up unless you feel like it's a bad look to be attached to Anton.
Or she didn't show him, like she told him probably from the beginning, oh, I'm just doing some business with this guy. She probably showed him the guy and he was like, oh, he a lame ass nigga. So he didn't think anything of it until all of this started coming out. Now you got to clean stuff up, because at first it was just, I'm just going to hang out with this lame guy and it's nothing. And now it's looking like a lot of something, especially this looks really bad.
I mean, we can't really say she can't. I'm just putting out all the things that I've heard just on all the videos. So, but I'm just I've heard that too. Like, oh, he's lame. Well, can we really call Anton lame if he cracked her? Or the perception is that he cracked her to the point where she's okay with getting on camera. She don't think he's lame.
Fact.
I do.
Look. Exactly. Hey, listen, Lucky Mary, you called a spade a spade. You called it a spade a spade. Can you really call somebody lame? Because the reason that these chicks calling him lame, because he said a lot of shit that they don't like. Because a lot of them probably align with the shit that he said about them. Right? So can you really call a nigga lame? And this ain't me just defending the whole aspect of what's going on. I'm just calling it for what it is. Like, hey, can you really call a person lame? What do we deem as lame? Oh, somebody that you don't like. Somebody that you personally don't like. So they're lame to you. But generally speaking, a whole bunch of people, millions of people, however many people he got in his Patreon, don't think that he's lame. Tutu Chair, what's up with it? I think the girl with the white mic might have been on Fight Club. I can't recall, but I remember the white mic. Oh, she been on Fight Club. Okay, so it's probably why he probably went off on her ass before. And then probably told her by herself, and yeah, of course, she hardened her heart. You know what I'm saying? Same as Jazz. Jazz swear me down. She just missed perfect. She swear me down. She just the most perfect thing ever since God's green earth.
I think they both lame and don't know it. Yeah. And so, they're clicking up and doing lame behavior because this is This is ridiculous. These are both married people. He's married. She's married.
Yeah.
And they're on camera. Clearly, your hair is disheveled. You look like you fresh off the dick. Okay. He's all in the background. I used to play the part where he in the background brushing his teeth like he just got done eating your pussy. It looks like what it is. There's no other way. There's no other way around it.
Jazz said he was sniffing that top lip.
Maybe they were drinking and then she came upstairs.
And my thing is you went on the explanation tour and tried to frame it as it's always business. It's just business. It's professional. Nothing is professional about you being in that man's room at 3 a.m.
I think it's disrespectful to brush your teeth after you eat.
What? You're nasty.
I mean, right in front of her, you're supposed to enjoy it. But what are you doing, Tamika? Tamika.
Yeah, that escalated. Yeah, that escalated.
Made her trying to get in front of this narrative when somebody asked why she's in Anton Daniels' room. This wasn't a big deal because at the time, at this very moment, she's in his room. The panel and the panelists and everybody is so focused on the Anton Daniels and Corey Holcomb. Say it again, or let's go outside. Nobody is honing in on that particular dynamic. Like, bro. And I missed it too at the time. But now I'm like, what the fuck was you doing?
Yeah, for real.
Because you just said on Talk Perspective, your obligation days to live on Room 9 is Thursdays and Fridays. This is Tuesday.
And for me, I'm only on Thursdays and Fridays.
Okay. Why the fuck you ain't hop? You feel me? Hop back on a flight, go your ass home. And you said you just got in there, which is a lie. And I'm about to show y'all that Anton Daniels for about an hour was looking off, asking Mika, is she ready? I'm reading the nigga lips. No, Diddy. And he's saying, are you ready? Are you ready? Then she gonna jump on the fucking camera to try to say, hey, I just got up, I just came from up. No, the fuck you didn't. You been there.
No, and I just came upstairs.
Her hair, that's bad.
No, and I just came upstairs.
Okay, maybe he threw her to the bed. They was like Russ playing, tussling. And then she like, oh, well.
What, this middle school?
I mean, who else?
That's so professional.
This man's 40-something.
Who else gonna be on the opposite of this conversation right now? Okay, I'm just thinking of all the possibilities.
And I don't know what y'all shooting to strangers.
I don't know what
I mean. Nobody shot me. I'm just saying. I'm just having a conversation, being open as a person with scandals. You know what I'm saying? We all got scandals. You know what I'm saying?
It looks scandalous. But they like this though. They like.
We do. I feel like she should lean into it. But how do you? I think what makes this bad is really not even this. It is this. I think what makes it worse is the interviews that combat this, because you say y'all not this, and then he gets on there and say, yeah, oh no, I reached out to her completely. She was fine, because she was attractive. Then he's like, no, yeah, we talk all the time. But you like, oh, it's strictly business. It's like, are you trying to convince us or your husband? Right, Ricky, they was pillow fighting. Everybody was
again. We in middle school. We in middle school. What is happening?
You ever seen Waiting to Exhale when he picked her up and he couldn't hold her and they fell in bed?
It's a business pillow fight. Is that what we doing?
Business pillow fight. I like that. Business pillow fight.
Right? Nigga, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, that's what a lot of this shit sound like, bro. A lot of it's speculation. They trying to put pieces together, which they aren't able to put pieces together. It's all speculation at the end of the day. Cool. You may see some shit. Yeah, anybody could be brushing their teeth for a reason. You think it's because a nigga brushing their teeth while he walking, and her hair's messed up. Yeah, the optics of it could look bad, but I'm not saying what is and what isn't, right? And so I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do this, because we can also look at it on the other side too. Okay, so how could they possibly be doing something? He got a white shirt on. If they just got done doing something, why the fuck would he have a white shirt on? Why would he have his hat on? Why would he have his glasses on, right? Why his shit ain't tussling? Why his shit don't look all tussled up or anything if they were actually doing something, right? Why he don't look a little bit discombobulated? How do we not know that she was as as he was sitting there on the live stream, how do we not know if she was the one who walked through the door? She walked through the door. She just got there like, hey, bro, we about to go live. We about to go live. You ready? Or we already live. You ready? Or the fact that he brushing his teeth now, because okay, so he brushed his teeth now, took the white shirt off while they were on live and started brushing his teeth. When you get off the live, you going to bed, correct? Do y'all not brush your teeth before y'all go to sleep? You see what I'm saying? There, you can look at this from many different ways because everybody loves scandals. Everybody loves the negative side of things. They only gonna look at it and see it from a negative aspect instead of looking at it from every single angle. And especially the ones who already got a disdain for him, they already going to the negative. Oh yeah, that nigga, I knew it. I knew that nigga was cheating. I knew that shit wasn't no good. Look at the interview. Look at what this person. Now everybody a fucking psychologist. Everybody a private fucking investigator. Everybody's a goddamn an experienced PI. Everybody's a phenomenal lip reader. Everybody's a phenomenal person who can understand body language and psychology. Everybody got a fucking degree in all this shit. Fuck out of here. Right. So what I'm gonna do? So when I become big, when I become huge, I'm gonna get me some fine shit. Right. I'm gonna find me a fine ass I'm gonna find me a fine ass lady. Right. I'm gonna talk about some fine shit. Somebody that everybody might know, right? And I'm just gonna do a scan. I'm gonna mess up my hair on purpose. I'm gonna have my collar kind of wrinkled up a little bit. So you know what I'm saying, to have people kind of feel like, oh, this nigga was out here fucking around. What? So why that bitch over there at your house at this time of night? Yeah, create a whole fucking scandal. Create a whole fucking scandal. Make the whole internet mad. Oh man, I thought you was like this. And then guess what? I'm not gonna do. I ain't gonna say shit. I ain't gonna make no videos about it. I ain't gonna talk. I ain't gonna say a goddamn thing. I'm just gonna let everybody speculate. I'm just gonna let everybody speculate. Just kind of how I speculated, and I said that I think Jazz got such a disdain for Anton because she actually want him. You know, you see how I speculated. I said I think she actually want that nigga. That's why she called him lame. I think that she underneath want him. I call her Helga Pataki. You hate that nigga in public, but deep down inside, you really wish that you was his chick. That nigga lame. That nigga lame. Bitch, what makes you so dope? Cause you can sing? Great. I ain't heard shit about you. Like for real. So I can call you lame. Just as you can call me lame. Cool. I'm cool with it. Call me lame all day. I'd rather be lame. If you want me to be honest. Just because you call somebody lame, that don't mean that you ain't lame either. You just as lame as the person you call lame. You ain't no better. You ain't nothing dope about you.
Fuck, nigga. Nigga, my haircut. If my barber ain't talking to me,
yeah, I saw those
25 minutes.
They was crazy.
That's because they be talking. Them beauticians be chit chatting.
Hell yeah, them niggas.
They be
That's why
taking
my haircut be an hour
breaks.
sometimes. I'm like, nigga, shut up.
Nah, listen, I'm from goddamn me. Listen, I'm from goddamn me.
Wait, what is that particular time? He said, "That's cool. You ready?" Right?
You said what? No.
Listen, I'm from goddamn me.
Wait, what is that particular time? He said, "That's cool. You ready?" Right?
You said what? No.
Go back. Look at his face. Look at Anton. Yeah, look at him. What is he doing?
He's looking down at his phone. He's asking her, is she ready?
Oh, he's looking at his phone.
Look at it. You see what I'm saying? She don't even know what the fuck she talking about. They so ready to find some shit. Look at look. What you looking down for? What you mean we looking down for?
And we have 243 people in here. We know y'all here for the tea. Don't act like y'all not.
Man, I'm gonna stop right here, bro. I'm tired of this. But shout out to Lucky. Shout out to Lucky, man, because I mean, at least in the sense she was trying to be objective from as much as I saw. But I know whatever her name is, Island Girl and Jazz, we already know they got a disdain for them already. So I can't even take their take serious. I can't. And to be honest with you, I can't take a lot of things that Jazz say serious anyway. So she never fends for men, right? But she say that she loves black men and she want to protect black men. If she wanted to protect black men, regardless of her disdain for him, she would still try to do her best to protect him. Like, listen, I don't know everything, so I'm not gonna say that he's this, that, and the third. But yeah, I'm quick to call a man lame because I feel some type of way about him. See the hypocrisy right there? See the hypocrisy? But you protect black men, though, right? I don't think you protect black men, Jan. I just think that you only look out for women. You only look out for women. You only look out for black women. Let me be clear. Black women. You only look out for black women. Black women can't do no wrong in your eyes. Black men, though, oh, you can shoot them straight to hell. In your eyes, you can shoot them straight to hell. But hey, make sure you like, comment, subscribe for the algorithm, and make sure you hit the bell notification. Let's see. Listen, bro, man, it's the boy's birthday, man. Listen, man, run these numbers up, run these super chats up, bro. Today's your boy's birthday. Run the super chats up.
Happy birthday, homie. For me? Yeah. Happy birthday, homeboy. For me? Yeah.
You feel me? Let's run it up. Let's run it up. Let's run it up. All right. So I want to go to this next. I want to go to this next topic. I want to jump over here to Lapeef. So Ty and True Table, they were kind of going back at it, and basically this was a conversation that was kind of being had yesterday on Fatty's channel, which I actually attended yesterday. I was on their live stream. I was on their panel yesterday, just for a little bit of time, not long. And I kind of brought up a topic in regards to when women get married in their later years, because we know women are starting to get married later on in life, in their 30s and so on and so forth. Are women marrying the men that they actually like, or are they marrying the men that they need? So are women actually marrying the men that they like, or are they marrying the men that they need? And those things are not synonymous. All right. So let me know your answers and then give me your thoughts and opinions on it. So let's go ahead and rock out.
This assumption that we're operating on the same equal footing. And that's not the case. So I'm not saying you should be like, throwing the rose petals at his feet. I'm saying that it just seems to be that.
Dude, who? Nah. Hey, shout out to you, bro. Nah, he didn't. Nah, he did not. It was cordial. Appreciate you for the birthday, bro. Appreciate you.
That's top dog aura right there.
Nah, and then I don't think when I got on there yesterday, bro, nothing like that happened. It was all cordial. I was showing love in their super chats, and he was like, "Hey, Courtney, pull up." So I was like, "All right, bet, I'll pull up." I was just sitting in the garage smoking a cigar, so I just like, "Fuck it, I'll pull up." And then I said my little piece, and then after that I got off because I ended up going out last night. So yeah. So this is what you want to watch on your birthday? Hey, listen, I got more topics coming too, man. I got more topics coming.
Most women truly don't grasp. They put us all in the same ecosystem. You a man. But men generally know, and I'm not saying he has to be super tall or have a bunch of status or any of these things. It just blows my mind that I'm like, in most cases, the guy who elevates you, because what you said, Ty, was interesting, which again, I appreciate you being honest. So again, this is not attacking you. You settled for him energetically. You made him feasible. In that, to me, that's disrespectful. I wish, because, okay, let's take that premise. Again, this is not attacking you. Did you convey that to him? Did you tell him, you're really not my pick, my choice, but I'm willing to walk this path with you. Did you convey
He
that
knew
to
he
him?
wasn't he knew he wasn't.
So you saying no? You didn't tell him?
That's why we were friends.
Because he tried multiple times and she made him.
He didn't try multiple times. He didn't try multiple times. I feel like he knew his way to get into being close to me was being my friend first. You know, he was, like I said, he wasn't that attractive. He was a bigger guy. He was cool, hella cool.
You see what I see the conversation that we just had recently about being a platonic friend? Ain't no such thing, bro. Ain't no such thing. There's always an ulterior motive. At the end of the day, you can't be friends, bro. You can't be friends without one of y'all trying to get together. She said 6 years later, still the same combos on this channel. Oh man, listen, I can't. Listen, I don't know. I just found some of the good topics, man, to react to. I did have the pleasure of having Ty come onto the channel, come onto the platform. On the Banner and Barter show, she came on one time before. And then of course Lapeef invited me onto his platform one time, and I showed up over there. But yeah, it's cool. But I get their whole thing, you know what I'm saying? I don't have any issues with them, but I do know the whole situation, you know, with Anton and all that. So but yeah, you are right though. So I looked at a lot of their content. It's all the same shit for the most part. Relationships, dating for the most part. It's like, dang, bro, what we doing? We gonna do? Are we gonna dive into business? Are we gonna talk about money? Are we gonna talk about, you know, a little bit of politics? I mean, you ain't even gotta talk about politics. You can talk about money. You can talk about a whole bunch of other things instead of just dating relationships, man.
Great personality, you know what I mean, but not a looker.
But Todd, with respect
And
to his
nobody else
question,
saw him until I saw him.
you know why that is? Question, are you saying that you didn't communicate it?
There goes that question.
Are you saying that
Say it
you,
again.
with respect to True's question, are you saying that you didn't?
Nah, listen, bro. I don't think he'll deny me a coaching call because I'm doing a reaction video to it, bro. I don't think he'll do me like that.
Tell him. You just assumed that it was.
I didn't ever tell him that you're not my top type. No, because
You treated him like it though, for sure.
Let me explain though, because by the time that I decided, when he finally did shoot his shot, right, my mindset was, why not? What could I lose from this? I could only gain from this. I didn't see it in my mind, honestly, as me settling. I saw it as this would be the best choice for me. Instead of going for somebody else who I just see as attractive, why not go for somebody who I feel actually values me, who we have a good relationship, who I feel like and trust? You know what I mean? Like, I can look past that. You starting to look attractive to me now because I like all these other things about you.
Fair. So basically, what I took from what you said, right? Because you and I did say this. I'm not advocating that men be dishonest. I'm advocating that typically the men that are honest are the ones that would not have to wear you down to get your attention. He got your attention because you picked him off the strength of his attractive level or whatever it is he does it for you. And then you're saying, well, then tell me that you just want to do that. And I'm coming from the premise, most of the time when he is that dude, he does tell you. He don't have to play that duality of like, oh, I'm gonna pretend to be faithful. Yep. No, that's not that dude. That dude is letting you know, like, okay, this is how I'm gonna slot you. This is what's gonna go. This is how this is gonna work. But that conversation wouldn't happen with a guy that has to wear you down, or wouldn't happen with a guy that doesn't have that ability in most cases. It's not a common thing. And I'm saying that sometimes it seems like you guys are enemies of your own selfishness, your own levels of desire. You want to take the best option and minimize him. You want to put the Ferrari, you want to put a governor on the Ferrari. You want to limit the ability. And then you're saying, well, if you're in a relationship with me, you should do that yourself.
The thing is, the Ferrari came to me. I didn't pick the Ferrari. I didn't go to the Ferrari. No, seriously.
That's the point that he's making. You weren't checking for him. He came to you. You weren't checking for him. He had to come. He had to make himself known to you. You weren't in his line of eyes. He was not in your sight at all. You weren't thinking about him. He had to make himself known to you. And the more he hung around you, then, only then you started to notice him based off of him continuing to keep approaching you and figuring out how to put himself in front of you so that way you can notice him. That's the entire point that's being made here. Instead of, hey, listen, I want a Ferrari, I'm going to get that motherfucking Ferrari. You ain't checking for a Ferrari, so somebody has to bring that motherfucking Ferrari to you. Like, listen, let me pull up in this Ferrari so you can actually see the fucking Ferrari. So you can see it. Take a look at it. Get in the inside of it. Look in this motherfucker, because this is actually a nice fucking car. But if this person would have never brought this Ferrari to you, you wouldn't even be checking for a Ferrari. That's the whole point.
And I've never, honestly speaking, I have never been in a relationship with a man and he's told me from the beginning that he still wanted to.
Right, that's exactly how she looked at her. Pretty Electric.
I've never had a man just be upfront and honest about that. They've always wanted to be with me. They've always asked me to be their girlfriend. They've always wanted to be in a relationship with me. I didn't even have to necessarily push that. It was brought to me. So in those situations, all I'm saying is don't bring that to the table if that's not what you want. Now, I understand that some women put that out there. What do you want? What we doing? What's going on? And you have to make a decision. But even in that honesty, right, and saying, I want what we got going on right now, or I really don't want to be committed because I'm a Ferrari and I feel grooming to do.
I'm sorry, Ty, go ahead.
No, go ahead, True.
So I'll ask you this and then I'll pass the mic.
Mm-hmm.
Has it ever been where a dude did ask to be with you and you were like, me? Like you want me? Like you felt out of place because he wanted you?
You know what? Honestly, yes.
Okay.
Yes. In one relationship I did, because I just felt like he was way out of my league.
Thank you for being honest. Thank you for being honest. I would say most women don't. Every woman feels like she's qualified. That's, in my opinion, the problem. The fact that you're being picked is one part of it, but whom is picking you, I think, is more equally important. In the assessing word that Willie used earlier, I think is a good word. Women don't assess. They all think that they're qualified for the best of every option, which is why I'm saying if you just so happen to catch his attention in whatever season, I'm not saying he should be dishonest, but read the room, know the lay of the land, and where's the appreciation for that? And you don't ever hear it. That's why with these people who celebrities and stuff, and they be like, oh, girl, he cheated on. I'm like, you're shocked? You're surprised? It blows my mind. It's blasphemous. And I laugh.
I think that we ignored something that Pretty said. And it just, like alarm bells went off in my head when she said it. Men have had this bros before hoes protecting each other, like riding with each other, no matter what now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's almost no code. Like, you can cheat on your girl, cheat on your wife, you can do all, like they co-sign a lot of problematic things, but then we always hear something about the sisterhood.
What are you talking about, Bo? What the hell are you talking about? No, that's with the hoes. That's with the hoes, shorty. When it's a nigga's actual chick, when this is your shorty, it's like, no, we ain't condoning that. Now, we used to do that as teenagers, college, yeah, like, hey man, bros before hoes, bro. But if it was his girl, though, if it was his actual chick, his actual girlfriend, we weren't tripping on that. Where you get that from? You talking about the actual hoes out here, the hoes, the ones that, that's a jump off. It's like, hey, man, hey, homie, nah, you bugging. Bros before hoes, bro, you tripping. So we out, nigga, we came to kick it, have some drinks, you know what I'm saying, shoot the shit. You over here trying to get on this jump off, bro. Man, leave the hoes alone, bro. Like, nigga, relax. Chill out. We kicking it. That's what that shit was. Most men in this whole, you know what I'm saying, bros before hoes in this bro code, nigga, bro code comes with the positive aspect of it. But it also comes with being held accountable too. So just as much as that I can praise you, I can also hold you accountable. That's what that's for. The brotherhood, bro code. That's what that is. I can also praise you when you're doing great, and I can also hold you accountable when you're fucking up. And so holding you accountable is, hey, bro, why you fucking with these hoes, bro? Man, my boy, you got a girl at home. Chill, dog. Ain't that serious?
As if men didn't have this for a long
That's true too,
time.
Coach.
And I just don't understand that specific double standard, because why is it that men can excuse and enable other men's problematic behavior, but when women do it, it's a problem for you? I think that if you all get to have bros before hoes, we should have the sisterhood, and y'all should shut the fuck up about it. Like, I was just like, was I the only one that heard it like that? Because y'all be covering for each other, and I don't know. That just did something for me when she said that. I was like, y'all need to not ever bring up the sisterhood and feminism if you're gonna have bros before hoes and your little whatever y'all got.
But if that's what we're doing, the only people that should have that talking point are the hoes, because those are the only ones that are being put behind anything. Notice we don't see good women in the sisterhood, or wifely women, the women that we respect, that we admire. None of them are in the sisterhood. It's always the undesirable hoes or the, again, feminists that men generally don't want. So when you're saying bros before hoes, the cold part is, ask any man on this panel, would they condone their homeboy cheating on their wife? And I'll give you $100 if one of them says yes, because that shit doesn't happen. We don't condone shit like that. Now, men in white kicking it, and he like, listen, he got a girl, but it's a bitch he finna go with. He already know where I stand. It's understood, like, nigga, you might not want to fuck up what you got at home, but he a grown ass man. I'm not gonna condone it just because I don't duct tape that nigga's ankles and tell him he can't go. Like, I don't snatch his keys like he drunk and say, nah, bro, you can't go fuck that bitch. That's not what happens. None of us are up here ever probably, I would say, even in the chat, most men aren't going to condone a man cheating on his wife. And most of us aren't going to even condone a man cheating on their girlfriend, even though there's times we can understand it. We can see why they want to do it, but we don't condone it. So to say that, bros before hoes and the sisterhood should be the same, cool. If that's the stance, then the only people that need to have that are the hoes. Like, and by hoes, I'm just a blanket term for just undesirable women, because those are the only women we see in the sisterhood anyway.
I guess I can agree with that, but as long as we saying that only because honestly, I really don't know how y'all view sisterhood. Like, Pretty had a panel where we talked about the sisterhood and like what it meant to us, and I think that it is completely different than what y'all think. And so I can agree to that if you're saying that the only people that are in that bros before hoes condoning and enabling problematic behavior are fuck niggas. And then the only people in the sisterhood are the hoes. Cool, great. But you can't put the sisterhood on every woman just because it sounds a way to you, because the way we view sisterhood, not the sisterhood, but the way we view sisterhood is completely different than what y'all think.
Yeah, I think I don't think it's purposefully disingenuous, but I do think that it is. So to what Willie said, like, we grown now. Like, bros before hoes, like, we in our 30s. Like, we hear that with boys in their young 20s. Like, I'm not here to defend bros before hoes type. If any man say that, leave him. Like, get away from him. Right? We don't. That's ridiculous. Like, I remember being young and like covering for my homie. I would never do that. Don't even play with me and ask me to, like, bro, don't call my phone on
Right.
nothing like that. I'm not covering for you. You're not about to make me into a liar. Like, you just not, right? And I think when I think about the sisterhood, I think about being a girl's girl, right? I'm not a boy's boy, like, at all. Like, can no man look at me like and get me to condone his bullshit because he's a man?
But here's the thing though. I'm a guy's guy. I'm a guy's guy, but being a guy's guy comes with me being able to hold you accountable as a guy too. It's not just I'm gonna take your bullshit. I'm not gonna allow you. I'm gonna sit here and allow you to do. Hey, Zyrex, I appreciate that super sticker. Appreciate you. I'll read it in a second. But I'm not gonna sit here and allow you to do stupid shit or put me in a compromising position where I gotta lie for you. No, fam. I'm gonna hold you accountable because I'm a guy's guy. That means the good and the bad, nigga. I'm gonna praise you when you're doing good, but I'm also gonna hold you accountable when you're fucking up. So yes, I am a guy's guy. 1000%.
This is never going to happen. I disagree all day with whatever, if I disagree with it. But I don't know. It could be I think most of what we believe is perception anyway, right? My perception of the girls is that they look like normal girls. They look like, all the regular women. Like when I'm watching Pop the Balloon and then, a woman say something stupid and all the girls is like doing a little, like, that was stupid what you just said. So I don't know. It could just be my perception. Maybe I'm looking in the wrong places. But I see adult women being a part of the same. If any woman that's an adult say she's a girl's girl, she's a kid. She's immature.
Facts.
Like that's just I don't know. That's just what I find.
No, I agree. I think I agree with you. Because a lot of women, when they say that they're a girl's girl, what they do is they take on all the bullshit and they champion the bullshit. As well as if that woman is doing good, they champion that shit too. They don't hold their sisters accountable for nothing. We've seen plenty of Pop the Balloon situations, and mine is right on that. Seen plenty of conversations like that happen. And a woman to say some crazy outlandish shit, they won't say anything. They'll probably be laughing or clocking teeth. But then the moment that the dude says something bad, guess what they all do? They pop their fucking balloon. Bah, 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 bah. Oh, well, I ain't like the way that you was talking back to her. The fuck you mean? Did you not just hear what she said about me? So I can't defend myself as a man. I can't say anything back. I just gotta eat. I just gotta take that shit. Man, you better get out my face. You better get out my goddamn face. But yeah, bro. Let me know what y'all think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for the algorithm, and make sure you hit the bell notification. Ooh, shout out to my girl Zyrex. Shout out to you for the $5. I appreciate you supporting your boy. Appreciate you on this good old birthday. Good old birthday. I appreciate you. Greatness, madness, let go, hit it. Facts. Facts. Big facts. Oh, what we got next? Ooh. Yeah, we definitely finna shift gears. We gotta talk about some money, dog. We gonna talk about some money. We gonna talk about some good old fashioned moolah, dog. Hold on, where my shit at? I gotta play my video. Where's it at? If we gonna talk about the money, I gotta play my video.
Yeah, you right, man. Making money is me, man. 10 years, man, you're gonna have matching Benzes. 10 years? Thinking more like 10 days, man. 10 days.
Yeah. All right. So I want to talk about the money aspect of things, right? So there's this content creator. She decided to quit her job. She decided to quit her 9-to-5 job. And she said, it's in God's hands. God take the wheel. God take the wheel. So basically what I'm hearing is she ain't got no plan. And she's just going to cycle yep, you heard it right, cycle, bicycle all around Seattle. So I'm interested to see how this is going and, how this came to be. I'm just interested and I'll give my thoughts and opinions on it. All right. So let's go ahead and rock out.
Hey, I'm Sam. Welcome back to my channel. So as the title claims, yes, I just left corporate. And this trip to Seattle is my first time not having to use PTO and checking in with the boss to see if I can go live my life. And I'm 27 now. Over the past couple of years, I knew this leap would come because I knew I'd rather be the person to go and find out than always wonder what if. It's a pretty surreal moment when you realize that you left a stable, safe job to go build a life that's uncertain and not guaranteed. And of course, when you quit your job, people always ask you, that's awesome. So what are you going to do now? And to be honest, I feel a little dumb saying yoga and maybe YouTube. I don't know. I'm gonna go pursue my dreams and my passions because I think we all have those desires within us. But what does it actually mean to turn our passions into a form of income? And I've always heard that once you turn your passion into income, you risk losing the joy that made you fall in love with it to begin with. Then I wonder, if these passions are put on our hearts for a reason, what's the point of ignoring them? And so now, this is my chapter of following what feels right, even if the path is unclear. Oh, and by the way, the breakfast that I'm making is called yajka in a pan or eggs in a pan. I'm Slovenian, and this is what my grandparents used to make for me all the time when I was younger. Yeah, plus we're playing American Spirit.
I'm currently in Seattle, Washington right now. I'm heading out to pick up my rental bike to go do the Burke Gilman Trail. I just recently quit my 9-to-5 in sales. I was selling forklifts and warehouse design.
I'm putting in my 2 weeks today, and it's the scariest thing I've ever done so far. Deciding to pursue my passion and my love, yoga and travel, instead of being in the rat race. I've learned a lot from this sales job, making money, how to make money, how business works, what the corporate world looks like, all the different departments, how to operate with all of them, how to get customers, keep customers, what happens when you lose customers. I'm really, really grateful for the opportunity that I've had with this company for 3.5, almost 4 years. But I'm also really excited to do my passion and try to make it work financially. Sounds really, really scary, but I feel like I just got to do it. You know, money you can always make more of, but time you can't. You're born dying type of thing. You're always getting older. I'm really nervous. I just told my first colleague, my engineer, who I really appreciate, respect, and have a lot of love for in this job. He's just said, congratulations. And he said, I'll be successful at whatever I do. And so it's just about trusting the path. Oh my God. All right. All right, let's do it. Okay, about to quit my job. Putting in my 2 weeks now. Sales has been really fun, and I'm excited to start selling myself, just trusting the path. And, oh man, I'm so nervous. Here we go. Let's go. But first,
Nah, fam. It looks like she's gonna cry, huh?
I'll do an iced mocha. Thank you.
She must have so far. Here's what I'm thinking, because she hadn't gone into detail. She said that she worked a sales job. She said that she'd been working there for 3 years. I'm hoping the only reasonable and logical thing that I could think of is that she saved up a ton of money. She kept all her expenses low, and she saved a ton of money in order to say, you know what? I'm going out here on a whim and a dream. Real talk. I'm going out here on a whim and a dream to pursue a passion. Boy, hell no.
I'm here to pick up a rental.
Oh, okay.
Perfect.
Do you know how big the tires are?
Yeah, her reasoning for quitting was because she didn't want to be a part of the rat race, and she wanted to create a life for her passion in yoga and YouTube and cycling across Seattle. Those were her reasons. Those were her reasons. It said, I'm from the village. I can't speak on this subject.
It's 27.5, I think, by 2.3.
You got it.
Cool.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. We'll
Thanks so
have
much.
fun out there today. See you later.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Sweet.
All right, guys, I just picked up the mountain bike from Recycled Cycles. I went with a mountain bike because I heard that there is some really big mountains around here in Seattle that I'm going to be biking on the Burke-Gilman, so I wanted a bike that's going to be able to handle that. This is a Kona Hardtail Blast mountain bike. Comes with an aluminum frame. These are just the standard handlebars and the standard.
Funny and bittersweet because I do feel like I'm missing it. It was a part of my life for 4 years. Although I left, it still was a chapter of my life where I really grew into a woman, and it taught me so much, and I'm really grateful for it. And some days I kind of miss the grind of going out in sales and making cold calls on every forklift I see. So I'm feeling like I'm supposed to go call on these people in the warehouse district, and it's just kind of funny. It's kind of cute, and I hope everything with
Just giving a tour.
All right, I think we're over 20 miles. I'm honestly so gassed. I wish I would have had padded shorts. Didn't bring that, forgot my fanny bag. Now we're gonna go drop off the bike. I wish I was wearing sweatpants too because it was really freezing. That's all right, you make mistakes, it's all part of the adventure. The adventure is that sometimes you're not gonna know what to expect, so you just enjoy the journey, ending where we started, coming full circle.
There's definitely a demographic of people. That's all I'm gonna say. They do this kind of shit.
You know who I always take my bike to at home too is I always go to REI.
Okay, cool. You're all checked in. Easy peasy.
Sweet. Thank you so much. It was so much fun. All right, so we are done. It was a fun-filled day. Got to tour Seattle. Harry was my guide, and he did an amazing job. It's inspiring to see people that are outside, moving, running, biking, walking. Seattle is a super active city, and honestly, I like it a lot more than I thought I would. And I did get really lucky with it not being super cold or rainy and having beautiful sunny days while I've been here. So that definitely helped. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to probably...
Nah, fam. You can miss me with that. Nope. You can miss me with that. You can still pursue YouTube and keep your job and making sure that the bills are paid. Because she didn't give us any detail in regards to how much money she saved or what her expenses are. I'm gonna take this route of saying I hope she saved enough money. I don't think it's a good idea for you to quit your job, regardless if you want to pursue content creation, YouTube, passion. You can work on your passion as a side job until your passion then can pay you 5 to 10 times over what you're making at your job. Then you can consider leaving, because now you understand that, all right, bro, I'm making a ton of money here, and I think I'll be losing more money by me not going into this full time now. Right now, you just starting out. You ain't making no money. You ain't making no big moves. You ain't got no motion yet. So you quitting your job is outlandish. That is crazy. You hear me? That is crazy. I would not do such a thing.
What? Yeah. Man, hell no.
Oh, bro. No, sir. No, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Hell no. Learn to know how to cook war. Wisdom, accountability, respect. You all need to take my advice. Yeah, this is crazy. Because now, what let's just say, right? Because there's a lot of people that get on YouTube and they say, I quit YouTube, right? Because it wasn't as hard, it wasn't as easy as they thought it was gonna be, right? It ain't like TikTok, it ain't like Instagram where you make a funny video and that shit instantly go viral. Nah, fam. YouTube is a whole different beast. Now, mind you, once you are able to master it, then yeah, that makes sense. Now you can pivot and do the things that you want to do. But as of right now, no, you shouldn't have quit your job at all. I don't care about, forget your passion. Passions, doing your passion, typically speaking, are for people who have the money, they have the finances, they have the resources in order for them to do passion projects, right? To focus on the passion projects. They got money, they got all of that, so they don't have to worry about their expenses. They can still maintain their lifestyle. They don't have to, well, now I gotta stop buying this, I gotta stop living the way I gotta live, and I gotta live extremely below my means so that way I can make this money stretch and last longer. Nah, fam. Nope. But I wish her the best. I hope that she can make it through. I hope that she can make it through. I hope that her YouTube takes off, and I hope that she sees this video and say, you know what, I might need to get a job and go and get my money until my YouTube is paying me a significant amount of money to where I don't need my job anymore. But right now, nah, nope. That she said, like, she got a rich dad. Listen, and that's probably what it is. That's probably what it is. She probably has, her father probably has some resources that he probably said, listen, I'll pay your rent, or I'll pay your rent for the remainder of the year. You're squared away. Whatever it is that you need, you're squared away. I'll pay that. So you ain't got to worry about it. So you can just go focus on that. And she probably has some bread stacked up from her sales job. So she like, all right, I can go. I'm good for a year or however long he said he'll pay for it. Right. That's another way to look at it. That's another way, because I know good and hell well. And the crazy thing is, the early 20s me would think like this. The early 20s me would be like, man, fuck that, man. It's about my dreams, man. It's about my passion, bro. You know, I want to follow my dream. I want to chase my dreams, bro. I just want to say fuck it and just go after it, man. I just want to go after it. That shit ain't practical, bro. It's only practical. It's only practical if all resources are paid for. I don't have to worry about my finances at all. Everything is taken care of. I can still maintain my lifestyle, and then I can say, all right, I'm gonna go focus on. Now I can go do this thing over here because I know all this over here is taken care of. I'd rather build while still having the job and making sure everything is maintained over here. We ain't got to worry about it, and I can 100% focus on this and build it and grow it and really fine tune and refine and continue to keep growing and continue to keep getting better and building and building and building. And I don't got to worry about this situation over here. So, but hey, I wish her the best of luck. Now that you had old man status, it's practical thinking. Happy birthday, old man. I guess you can say that. I guess you can say that, bro. But because I'm not, hell nah. When I realized that I can do both, I was like, yeah, I'm doing both. I'm not gonna sit up and just do one or the other. I can do both. So I'm gonna do both. And that's what I've been doing. But I appreciate you, Bull City. I appreciate you. I appreciate you for the birthday wishes, big dog. Ooh, but make sure you like, comment, subscribe for that algorithm, and make sure you hit the bell notification. Where I want to go next? Where we at? We 2 hours and 43 minutes in. Do I want to go into that? Do I want to talk about this? You know what? I want to talk about this truth hurt situation. I want to talk about this. I think this might be interesting, an interesting topic to talk about. So the question is, why are Black men the only ones that complain about providing? That is the question. So we're going to get into it. We're going to listen to what Truth Hurts has to say about this, and then I will give my thoughts and opinions on it. All right? So make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let's rock out.
What he's no, but I agree. And so if you were to ask me, why does it seem like Black men are the only men that are complaining about providing, I would have to blame Black women for not being realistic about their predicaments. Just like you said, when we think of Becky, right? She knows that she's in a trailer park. She's not in denial. She knows what her man makes, and guess what? She will go to Walmart. She will go get a purse from Walmart, wardrobe from Walmart, because Walmart is her ceiling. And so she'll never put that pressure on him of Gucci or Louis or any of that, because she knows Billy has Walmart money, but Billy does the best that he can do. And why would I complain? He's providing, he's doing what he's supposed to do. He's giving me all of my needs. My needs are met, not my wants, right? The same thing with Maria and Roberto. They know for a fact, right? Our whole family's going to live under this roof. We might not have everything, but we have everything that we need. And my husband provides. And we might can only drink a Modelo every Friday, right? But it seems like some reason when we start dealing with Mercedes and Lakeisha and all of them, right? These are the only women that don't act like we live in poverty. I live in poverty. You live in poverty.
Hold on, let me run that back again, just in case y'all missed it. Let's run it back.
No, but I agree. And so if you were to ask me, why does it seem like black men are the only men that are complaining about providing, I would have to blame black women for not being realistic about their predicaments. Just like you said.
Okay, so I thought I heard that part. Yeah, I agree. I 110% agree. I think is that the expectation that a lot of these women have is definitely delusional, right? There are a lot of women who think they deserve certain things, and that's far, far from true. A lot of women that are 4s and 5s, they think that they deserve 8s and 9s and 10s. They think that they deserve a high value man, a high earning man. They think that they deserve all of that. Why do they think that they deserve it? I have no clue at all. Even women who claim, well, I'm educated, so I should have me an extremely educated man. Just because you go to school, you go to an indoctrination camp, and you know how to memorize, memorize terms and questions and different pages of a book, that don't necessarily mean that you're highly educated. You can still be educated and not ever have gone to college, right? Shout out to the president of the United States. And you can still go out here and do great things. I just think that a lot of times a lot of women shoot themselves in the foot. A lot of women shoot themselves in the foot. And it goes back to that conversation of the wants and the needs, right? You can have a man that you want, that can build, that you can grow and build with. You can have a man that you need, that you can build and grow with, to allow you to get the things that you want. That's a bar. Let me say it again. You can get the man that you need, so that way you can build and grow together, so you can then get the things that you want. But y'all want microwave success though. You don't want to grow. You don't want to build. You want you want him ready made. And then what's crazy is the fact that this man is already ready made. You then think that he's supposed to come into your life, and then he's supposed to be on your program. That's crazy to me. That's wild. This man who has built himself up from the ground up without your help, like Kobe, you weren't with me shooting in the gym. So what makes you think that you're going to have any say-so in what I got going on here? Because without me, your life ain't shit. With me, your life is 10 times better than what it would be if I wasn't here. And yeah, and so therefore, sometimes a lot of these women, they have to be humble, and they don't like that shit. Like, no, I'm finna humble you. No, you think that you deserve this. No, you don't deserve shit. You ain't worked for it. You weren't making the sacrifices that I had to make. You don't deserve any of this shit. And to be 110% fair, let me be honest with you. Yes, us women of all colors tend to have unrealistic expectations of our man. I blame social media. But no, I can't blame social media, because let me tell you, I think it's hyper realistic. I think it's not hyper realistic, but hyper delusional. Hyper delusional. That's what social media made it. But I think this has already been a thing before social media became a thing. This has already been in play before social media. Social media is just highlighting it now. It's highlighted so much more. And I think that if these women demand So if you got a man that's a high value man, right? Let's just say this, because I know everybody like to use 6 figures, right? Because I swear they think that every man at this bitch makes 6 figures when a lot of men don't even make that. Don't even make 6 figures. These niggas making anywhere between $50,000 to $70,000 a year, right? But just for the sake of this conversation, 6 figures, and let's just use 200K after taxes, right? So this man makes 200K after taxes. There should be a law that says, hey, because this man is in a certain tax bracket, if you decide to marry anybody that makes a certain amount or more, if you decide to get into a marriage with them, you have to be with them longer than 10 years. You have to be with them 10 plus years before you can even get a smidget or smell any money, just in case you decide that one day you wake up and all of a sudden you unhappy. You know how a lot of these women are doing out here today. They just wake up one day, oh, I just realized I'm just not happy anymore. Say less. How long y'all been together? 5 years. Well, guess what? You can get divorced. Go ahead, but you get nothing. You get nothing from him. Don't matter if you lived with him. Don't matter. 10 years plus. Because what that looks like then is like, okay, so you stay here long enough to where you're like, all right, I'm gonna play the game for about 5 years, then I'm gonna say I'm unhappy, and then irreconcilable differences, and then we're gonna get divorced, and I'm gonna get half of what all of his shit. And then now I can go around here and talk about how you a bad bitch and how you make so much money and how you a successful bitch and you made all your successes off of the guy that you married and you ain't work for none of it. Nah, we ain't doing that. We're not doing that at all.
We think of Becky, right? She knows that she's in a trailer park. She's not in denial.
Because of social media. Shit, sorry. Because of social media, we would see average women living a lavish lifestyle, which then distort our view, making us think if she can get it, so can I. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. And then that's where a lot of these, and this is why a lot of these conversations get real hard, because then you'll get men like myself and other men that would tell you, well, shorty, that ain't real life. Half of them hoes lying. That's one. Half of them chicks lying. Half of them didn't work their ass off to get that. They got it in a divorce, or they didn't get it, or it's daddy's money. Or they really don't have the money, but you know how social media can be. You can take pictures in front of cars and make it seem as if it's yours, giving the illusion that you really out here getting to it when you really ain't getting to it, right? So yeah, so I can understand that, but so that's why we have to come back to reality. It's like, listen, I hear you, but you say you deserve this, but what makes you think you deserve it though? What work, what effort have you put in to say that, listen, I deserve this shit? Because in reality, nobody deserves anything. But you can work your ass off. I see some people who work their ass off and still never got the thing that they most desired. And that can be for many reasons. So for a lot of these average women who sit here and say, well, I deserve this. No, you don't. You don't deserve a goddamn thing. Especially, and then more so, especially if you ain't put in the work to get it. Absolutely not. If an average man can provide that lifestyle, my man better too. Yeah, that's how a lot of them see it. If an average, but here's the thing. These men want to do that, and they can, but in some instances, some men gotta have that. They gotta have a purpose. One, the first purpose is I'm not here to make you happy as my woman. No. My purpose is to be my purpose. You are not my first priority at all. You can't be. How can you be my first priority when my purpose should be my first priority? That will then pour into me, so that way I overflow and it pours into you and everything else under that. So if I gotta focus on you 100% of the time, that means I'm taking focus away from my purpose. Can't do that. Gotta pick one. The purpose of the woman. That doesn't mean that you don't love her. That doesn't mean that you don't care about her. That doesn't mean that she's not important in your life. That doesn't mean any of that. It just means that, listen, my purpose comes, the program is my purpose. The purpose is what's going to get us where we need to be. So that way you can become the beneficiary of my success. But I can't do that if I'm putting you first. It don't work like that. And that's what a lot of these women don't understand. because they got an ego problem. They say it's men. Men don't have, listen, men do not have the egos. Men only have the egos when it comes to competition. When it comes to competition and you trying to combat me a certain type of way, it's like, oh, so what you trying to say? Now the ego steps in. But when it comes to this idea, well, you need to think about me first. I should be the most important in your life. Nah, my purpose is. So what you saying? I ain't important to you? I didn't say that you weren't important to me. I said my purpose is more important than anything. And anything else that's involved with me, because I'm focused on my purpose and the success that I get because I focus on my purpose, you then will reign in this. You would then get the fruits of the spoil. What are you talking about? But I don't know what I'm talking about though. That's what they're gonna tell me. They're like, you don't know what you're talking about, bro. You just saying something. Like, all right. You got it. You got it. But hey, make sure you like, comment, subscribe for the algorithm. Make sure you hit the bell notification, dog. Today was good, bro. Today was good. Today was a great birthday. You know what I'm saying? People show love in the super chats. I appreciate y'all for doing that. You know what I mean? I appreciate y'all for showing love on this good old birthday. Appreciate y'all for showing up, kicking it with me. Matt, my guy, what's good with it? I'm not quite sure if it's biological or social conditioning that women think it's a man's job to take care of us. Yeah, I don't know what it is either, but I do believe that there are a lot of men who do believe and do want to take care of their women. They do. The one, like, there are women that, like, they're actual women, not just women in general, like they're actual woman, their lady, the one that they're married to. They do want to take care of them. They do want to give them the world. But sometimes they don't have that. Sometimes a lot of the men, they're too focused on trying to make the woman happy instead of focusing on the purpose, right? They're too busy being all up under their chick. It's like, hey, man, go do something. Go figure some shit out. You know what I'm saying? So, but hopefully we can fix this thing. But the way that it's looking now, it's a hard thing to do because a lot of women don't want to listen because they think they got the answers. They think that they know it all. Men, what they don't understand is that men got to experience women too. And more so than that, we have to know y'all better than y'all know y'allself and us. Because let's be real, let's have that conversation. A lot of women say that men just care about one thing and they want to get the box, right? Well, in order for men to be able to do that, they have to understand you. They have to know how you operate. They have to know how you think. They have to know how, you know, the emotional triggers. They have to know all of that shit. They got to know the right things to say or the things not to say in order to make sure that you don't fuck it up. It's kind of like in Hitch. It's like, listen, bro, I can get you there. But once I get you there, it's your job not to fuck it up. I can set the whole lay of the land for you. I can get you past the waters. I can get you across all the obstacles. But once you get there, it is up to you. I'm no longer needed. It's up to you to not fuck it up. And so when men start figuring women out and they start fucking it up, and a lot of these women start opening their legs up to them, like, uh-oh, I done figured them out. Some men look at it as a finesse. Some men look at it as, listen, I just was myself and they fell for it. I was just being me. I wasn't trying to be something that I wasn't. I wasn't lying to them. I wasn't trying to finesse. I was just being who I was, and they were still rocking with me. So what you want me to do? So yeah. But hey, yes, it's the sustainability that we have a hard time with. Yep, I agree, Zyrax. But hey, I appreciate y'all for kicking it with your boy today. Make sure you're here Tuesday. Banter and barter with myself, Macaroni Tony, J Ben, Marcus Courtney. Make sure you're here with us. Come kick it with us. You know what I'm saying? You know, because we got to run them numbers up over there on the Banter and Barter Show. If you haven't subscribed to that channel, be sure to go do that right now. We got to get to 1,000 over there. All right. So, but today was dope. I appreciate y'all for kicking with your boy. And until next time, my good people, I will holler.